What's up? Welcome back to the Section 10 Podcast, episode 539, presented by Underdog Fantasy. It is the home of your 10-10 third place Boston Red Sox. My name is Jared Carrabis, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Coley Mick, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Tyler Milliken, and he killed his dog Bullet, and you can't teach that. Bada boom. Realest guys in the room. Steve, how you do it?
Ooh, what up, Section 10 in the building?
In the mother fucking building. Presented by Blue Moon.
Suck one.
Produced by Jake Yazzie.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, Jake, because the Red Sox got outscored 20-9. 20-9 in this series. And is that a Justin Slayton artist rendering?
It's my new printer. We're still working. I didn't realize I had to order colored ink.
You bought a printer and put it right in your bedroom, right in the shot of where you do the podcast.
I'd be printing shit.
Yeah. Hold
right
that
in
up
the
again.
background. Right in the background. Yep.
Okay, so this is a black and white photo, yeah?
It was originally colored when it was taken, but I don't have any colored ink.
So you bought a printer that doesn't print in color, put it directly in the shot of where you record the podcast, and printed out a black and white photo of Justin Slayton.
I feel like you're not as excited about this printer as I am, and it's starting to upset me a little bit.
No, it's not that I'm not excited, T. I'm learning about the printer. So it does not does the printer not have the ability to print color, or you just don't have any colored ink?
Allegedly, it can print with colored ink, but I didn't receive any in the package. It was only black.
Okay, so you bought this online, yeah?
Yes.
You bought it online.
I got a great deal on it. $175.
$175.
Is that a good deal? That feels
no, it's not a good deal at all.
I paid $50 for it.
Okay, all right. All right.
I was like, I haven't got a printer in a minute, but that seems a little bit up there.
It seems steep for not having color. So you bought a $50 printer that you put directly in the shot of where you record the podcast to print off a black and white photo of Justin Slayton.
Correct. I'm going to break it right after this podcast. I don't even need it anymore.
The funny thing with T is that we keep mentioning it's directly in the shot. You're like, yeah, I'd be printing stuff. It's like, no, T, it's in the shot. Like, you can be printing stuff. And it can be like not in the shot. It can be anywhere in your room. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If the printer's not here, I don't know where else the printer would go. There's nowhere else in this entire place where it could possibly be.
There's no other rooms in the house, or
my bed.
Can we do a tour, T? Can we do a tour here?
Yeah, let's do a little tour. Yeah.
My room's
never going to finally get the Underdog logo on your shot.
Yep. Boom. That's what it looks like. That's that. I got some water. Wait, that's my computer.
That's your tentacle porn.
I don't want to do this quick.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy over here right now.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
that's it.
Maybe you need some more decor. All right, not terrible.
Yeah, why don't you get like a lower table to put maybe the printer under the window or something?
Yeah, I like to stand in front of the window and just stare out it. Sometimes I don't like when there's things in my way.
Hell yeah.
I have weak shins.
MLB season's here, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. You can make entries of all baseball, or you can mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. I'm putting out picks every single day, or pretty much every single day, and I won yesterday, didn't win tonight, felt good about it. Didn't work out, but hey, such is life. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. Wow, what a series! What a series! If we had to do, by the way, we did a live stream last night with Big Bill of AEW. Shout out to Big Bill for coming by. For the live stream. That was a lot of fun. It was Steve's first time getting to meet a professional wrestler. Yes.
Yes, he is.
That
huge.
must have been huge for you.
It was huge, and he is huge. I got to say, Big Bill, extremely nice human. I had a blast sitting next to him. Very, polite individual.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked such a stupid thing, by the way. I got to put my hand up on this one. I didn't know his fan affiliation. I was unaware he was a Yankee guy, which is really a problem. I should have known that. And I was like, so you're a Sox guy? And he looks at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, clearly not a Sox guy. Let's try to get back on like a good stretch here. That was in the first inning, but by the third or fourth inning, I think we were pretty close. So I was happy about that.
That's kind of crazy, like you being such a big wrestling guy yourself, that you weren't aware that he was a Yankee fan.
Yeah, well, I don't really follow the IG or anything like that. I just follow the wrestling. I care about what he does in the ring. I don't really care about what he does out of the ring, brother. So, that was cool to find out. But no, he added to the stream big time, and I'm only going to be nice to him and not ask him stupid questions moving forward.
That's good.
I feel like I did a worse thing, which is I called him Big Cass at one point.
See, all right. So for those who don't know, I know that not everyone's like Steve. Not everyone's a diehard wrestling fan. He was Big Cass in WWE. He's now Big Bill in AEW. His real life name is William.
There you go.
So I know him as Cass, but I can't call him. I feel like it's disrespectful to call him Cass. Right. So it's like, imagine meeting someone, becoming friends with someone, but then 5 years into your friendship, they change their name. Like, that fucks with you. So when he pulled up, this is Train's first time meeting Big Bill. And I was like, I wonder how he's going to introduce himself. Like, I didn't say, hey, Train, this is blank. I was like, I'm going to wait for him to go up to her and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so, Coley.
What did you introduce Train as? You don't have to say if it's her legal name, but did you introduce her
I said,
as Train?
This is my girlfriend legal name.
Train.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't use her gimmick name, brother. Like,
this is my girl Train over here. Say what's up, Train.
Yeah. But he said, hey, my name's Bill. So he introduced himself as Bill. But I mean, it's just always a fascinating thing. Like, I was at Kowloon one time when WWE was there, like a bunch of wrestlers were there, and the wrestlers were calling each other by their stage names. And I was like, that's interesting. That's interesting to see that, because no one else was around. They were like in like a separated area. And like the only non-WWE performers that were in the room were me and Jimmy Stewart. But they were calling each other by their wrestling names. It's
just going to be easier to keep up with the kayfabe. Like, the last thing you want to do is be on a hot mic and then use their legal government name, unless you're trying to like shit on them. No, I'm sure it has.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to go to Steve's first in-person wrestling show tomorrow night.
I am so excited about that.
AEW.
I can't wait.
Maybe even go backstage. Maybe even go backstage. I don't know, Steve.
Go backstage. I'd be really pumped.
That'd be something.
Fingers crossed. Hey, this is one of those where like your parents like, hey, might be something in it for you. That's kind of what it feels like right now. So I'm not getting my hopes up too much, but it does.
Yeah, I don't want to get your hopes up, but it's on the table.
Kind of pointing in the direction of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the table. But the first game of this Rays series, it is crazy to think the Red Sox, like, I still, coming into this episode, don't even feel like the Red Sox won that series.
No,
because even tonight, they scored one run. I mean, winning a 1-0 ball game. I don't know how you guys feel about this take, but I believe it's the mark of a good team if you can actually win a 1-0 ball game. I don't know that you can say that about this team yet. I don't know that you'd be like, yeah, Red Sox, good team, because they won the 1-0 ball game. They're 10-10.
It's easy to say it about them if they then get good as we go along here. Last time they beat the Rays 1-0 was 2018. That was a good team. So
what did they do that year, Steve?
Yeah, they won the World Series, 108 wins. It was a super fun time. Yeah, let's hit the noise. There we go.
Yeah. They did win the World Series that year.
Isn't it like overall though, you look at this entire road trip, the fact that you went 3-3 in the first game of the Rays series, the first game of the White Sox series, you make so many errors. And I know there's only one officially on the first game of this series. Bregman, Story had 2 really tough plays in the field. The fact that you've played 2 clean games back to back after Cora essentially called out, he framed it as the coaching staff. It felt like he called out everyone. It was essentially like, listen, we need to get it the fuck together. I've been telling everyone not to panic, not to worry. He kind of stepped up and put everyone in their place. And now you get 2 games of clean baseball. That feels like the difference. It felt like he pushed the right button when he needed to. Jared?
I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer, but does it almost feel like the losses were so bad that they outweighed how good the wins were? Like, I know a win's a win and a loss is a loss, but I'm not even talking this series. I'm talking about this road trip. The losses were so bad that even on a 3-3 road trip, the wins just didn't feel as good as the losses felt bad.
And two of the wins you struggled so hard to get. They were truly down to the end. Like, yesterday's game was the only one where it was like, all right, they got ahead early. They kind of kept room the entire time.
They had to bring in 44.
Yeah, seriously, for one out, which still felt extremely stupid because you didn't have him available for tonight. But whatever, Justin Slayton's nasty. But you had to struggle so hard for some of these wins. We haven't had a lot of peaceful, enjoyable, fun baseball yet.
If my math is right here, they got outscored 35-15 in the road trip, and they went 3-3. So if you're feeling like that, Jerry, I do understand. But now I think both series, and I say this all the time, I think they lost, or they lost. They were outscored 35-15, outscored by 20. Is that
the road trip?
Yes, yeah, 20 runs. Yeah, I think they were minus 20 on the road trip, and they went 3-3.
Asses kicked twice.
But if anything, minus 20 run differential and you split those games, like I'd look the positive side and I'll take that instead of being like 2 down on it. I think what's up?
I was gonna say, who's thrilled about 3-3 to begin with? Like, yeah, they went 3-3.
No. You should,
especially when you consider that you lost the series to the White Sox.
Losing a series to the White Sox sucks, but like I mention this all the time, the series finale wins to me, especially for recording day, feel like a win and a half. Anytime you can get them, it's a happy flight. It's good momentum. So I don't feel as bad after the White Sox series finale win. I don't feel as bad after this series finale win. But it kind of felt like this week was 35-15 in the run column. That's what it felt like. But still, us talking now, I don't feel that bad.
Since the Cardinals series, they've scored 2, 1, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 7, 1. Like they scored 1 in 2 separate in 18 innings against these Tampa Bay Rays. And they're 1-1 in those games. Minus 15 run differential, 14. So yeah, that's baseball. You know what I mean? Like the Houck, like you talk about how feeling bad. Houck is like, he sent him to Greenville like that. He's done. He's cooked. Like that's where it feels bad. And even I can't even fully blame him because the defense behind him was so bad. He should have got out of that inning. It still would have been like 7-1. So I'm not pumped about how he was looking. Yeah. But that's where it's like, yeah, that part feels like that's not going to get fixed moving forward. The bullpen right now feels shockingly sturdy. The rotation, it's like, hey, if Buehler can give us 5-3 every 5 days, sick, but we still have to see more of that, even if he's looked promising his last 2. Newcomb, he can't even get a quality start because he's walking Danny Jansen to start an inning, but we'll take
he wasn't
what
even
he gave
supposed
you
to
tonight.
Start that game. Like that was
no, for sure. Like
just because Michael Fulmer, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the opener, but you needed him for fucking 60 pitches because they got their dicks blown off in the first game.
Cora gave him ketchup after the game, essentially, where he's like, listen, Michael Fulmer just eating shit that entire game is the reason our bullpen was where it was the last 2 nights. Like, he was giving the ketchup to Fulmer, who looked like dog shit.
For a second there, I thought you meant Cora actually said that. I'm like, I need the audio right now. Right. A packet to Fulmer. We're giving packets out to, everybody. Story gets a packet. Breggy gets a packet. Like, that's kind of what it felt like. It's a weird feeling. I mean, you get outscored by 20 runs and you're 3-3 against teams that you should at worst probably go 4-2 against. So, but it's also early in the season. And we've talked about the division. It's not that good a division. Division kind of stinks.
This is maybe the worst I've felt after a series win. Maybe since we started doing this podcast. Like, I don't feel horrible, but I just I don't feel like I'm coming off a series win. It's nice. Well, it's nice that they did win it, but
it's also tough when the run, like I looked at that every angle of that David Hamilton home run. I'm like, how is this a home run? This can't be a home run. Like the launch angle, obviously he hit it hard, but that is a Yankee Stadium home run. I do get that the dimensions are basically the same, but that being the only run in the second inning? I think that's the only run of the game. Like I would have given that a 0% chance. So if
that
anything,
game flew. That game was 45 minutes.
It flew by. I looked up and it was the 8th inning. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But Jaron did not want that to be a 2-0 game. He wanted to make sure it stayed 1-0.
The real score of that game, not to jump ahead, which is all we've been doing. The real score of that game was probably like 5-2 because there were a couple like Trevor hit one, Rafi hit one to dead center that just
a couple of their guys.
So that's why I felt like, and then the ground rule double, I think Story would have scored on that if it stayed in the park.
Probably, yeah. From the angle they showed, it looked like if it had gotten even a decent bounce away from whoever's playing right there, he probably scores. But yeah, it was I'm not going to use the word, but it was a weird night at that park. Like that.
What kind of night was it, Steve?
It was a weird one. I'm not getting tossed.
Peculiar.
I could have sworn that at least 4 of those balls were getting out. And these guys are doing their home run follow throughs too. Like they're giving you you don't even have to look at it. This thing's gone. And it's not even reaching the warning track. That sucked.
It's also kind of crazy how like the first game of the series, I was like, this park cannot be street legal. Like, what are we doing here?
No,
like this feels like it's a little bit illegal. To go from that to the series finale where balls were getting tattooed and just dying at the warning track. I'm like, is this the same park that we just
There's no wind either. They showed the flags.
Not even a little. No movement.
Like, what's going on? Because you're right, Jerry. The first 2 games, ball off the bat, I'm like, oh, that's going to be caught. Whatever. I look down at my phone. That's another home run. What the hell are we doing? What is this? Yeah. It's anything with the Rays. It's always just, I almost did it again. No, it's bizarre. Anything with the Rays is bizarre.
It's Mickey Mouse. They're a Mickey Mouse organization. They set off a fucking EMP last night. People's ears were bleeding.
That was rough.
What was that all about?
DOB just kept pushing through. He didn't give a fuck. He's talking like you can't even hear it.
We thought that was like in our headphones for the live stream. It's like, no, that's at the park. It's the Rays. Like, it doesn't matter. It's the Yankees park. Go it.
I got this tweeted at me last night during the stream, and I couldn't hear the stream because we were streaming. Does DOB hate Casas? I saw a lot of that on the bird.
So I'll put it like this. He floated the idea of Devers getting reps at first base. It came off like an informed take. So that was what we talked about at the Sports Hub today. I will say, what'd you say, Jared? What'd you say?
I didn't say
Speak up.
I didn't say.
Yeah, T, what were you saying, T?
What were you say, T?
I'll put it like this. It was not an informed take. That's all. So anyone who was taking or grabbing narratives from...
How do you know that?
I'm just saying that. I'm just telling you.
How do you know?
Look at T right now.
It's my perspective. It's my perspective.
How do you know that what he said was not an informed take? How do you know that?
That's just what I'm feeling. That's what's inside of me.
So it may be an informed take.
Bet on what you want.
Is this the first like T informed take that we've had on this show?
But he's wrong.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. Every time Cora
You're
speaks
telling
about
me Devers has got grounders at first?
A glove.
That's not
Cora's
what I
like,
said.
Fuck no.
That's not what I said.
Then what am I wrong about?
That I don't think that came from nowhere. I don't think that came from his brain.
So what do you mean?
I think that someone said it and that he floated it as like a thought. But it was something that somebody said.
So what's that about?
Yeah.
If you could like expand.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows?
Yeah.
I've heard on 98.5 the Sports Hub that Roman Anthony should play first.
Oh, yeah. I've heard Pete Abe wrote an article 2 days ago saying Marcelo Myers should play first base.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Pete Abe wrote an article that Myers
Pete
should
Abe
get
is
time.
a fucking idiot.
Don't
So
disagree.
I don't know why we would be citing him on this show.
I always want to whisper this. Like, I feel like Roman Anthony can play first base. That's all I'm going to say. I think he can play first base.
I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
No, of course he can. He's a very talented outfielder and he's tall. Of course he could. I think it'd be a waste of what he can do, though.
Bryce Harper did it. It'd be the same transition. It's exactly
Bryce
the same
wasn't as
profile.
good of an outfielder defensively.
Bryce was a catcher.
Right.
Yeah, I still think though overall, like body type wise, like you saw how easy the transition was for him, and he was coming back obviously from the UCL stuff at that time. Could he do it with reps? But no, it makes sense for him to be more likely than not. Should be left field, but it's going to be center field.
Oh, do we want to have this conversation right now? Because I had this on 95 the fucking Sports Hub tonight with Tony Maserati on the Baseball Hour, and we're just throwing it out there, and you're never going to believe this, but I was misquoted. Because Loomer texted me. Loomer texted me. And he's like, did you say on the air that Roman Anthony's getting called up this weekend? And I said, no.
I was wondering where that came from.
Yeah, I said, this is not an informed take. but it wouldn't surprise me if he got called up this weekend. Just based on, and I've even said, I was like, this is not based on something that someone told me. I just saw the fucking baseball savant page, and I'm like, he has more than nothing to prove at this level. Like, it's time. Like, he's ready. Like, there's nothing. Like, he beat the game down there. It's time to advance. So as soon as this weekend, wouldn't surprise me as if he got called up. I went out of my way to say it's not informed or that someone said to me that he was going to get called up. But the conversation now becomes, and I'm interested to hear all of your takes. Roman Anthony gets called up eventually, and I don't know when this, like how soon something like this would happen. But when Marcelo Meyer gets called up, he's your second baseman. I know this is going to drive Coley insane. But Meyer is going to be the second baseman. I know that when he signed the extension, that we were all like, boom, finally, our second baseman of the future is locked in for X amount of years. It's really X amount of days. Like, I think Meyer's your second baseman. Campbell then becomes an outfielder. Roman Anthony is going to be in the outfield, but also spend some time at DH. And like Raffy, I could see Raffy getting some time at first base while also still DHing. Casas, same thing, first base, maybe some time at DH. But when you have Campbell moving to the outfield, Roman Anthony getting called up, Rafaela, we already talked about, he's the low man on the totem pole, but Jarren Duran is your de facto team leader, and Wilyer Abreu is one of the best players on the team. So what do you do? You have
not the last week.
Not the last week.
Huh?
What?
Wilyer Abreu is a legit 800 plus OPS guy.
I like Wilyer.
Yeah.
That is best, yeah.
Gold glove defender, 800 plus OPS guy in right field at Fenway Park. That's pretty damn good. What do you do? And the question about Rafaela is, do you keep him as utility guy? Do you keep him in the rotation out in the outfield? Do you send him to Worcester? So what do you do with Rafaela, who is the odd man out? But then what do you do about Wilyer and Duran when you're adding two outfielders in Campbell and Roman Anthony? What do you do?
I was going to say, you listed like 9 guys out. You brought up too many people, I fear.
Yeah, I think even the Meyer thing right now.
What are you going to do?
But right now, even the Meyer
conversation, not bring them up.
He needs to go to AAA and actually show something at AAA before we're talking promotion. Marcelo Meyer. Marcelo Meyer's rocking a 500 OPS down there. I know he had a great spring training and all, but you have time before you got to worry about that part of the conversation. Roman Anthony, he should be up right now. You could argue the at-bats were looking that good during spring training. It's just you got a crowded outfield.
Should have made the team. Marcelo Meyer has only played short and third so far for the Woo Sox. Now, Cora has shown he'll put Christian Campbell at catcher, like no problem. So I don't know how much that matters, but you'd think at a certain point they would start playing guys at positions. I don't know that moving Campbell to the outfield solves anything. It's not that I'm furious about it. They'll obviously play him in center where he's terrible. Rafaela is probably going to win Platinum Glove if he keeps playing in center field. Like, he catches everything. I really don't understand the idea that he needs to go anywhere. I know his bat doesn't exist, and I know Narvaez also cannot hit at all. It's 8-9, but what's Wilyer's 5 for his last 21, 22, and a worse defender? Duran getting thrown out at third, making multiple errors in left field, like the easiest of the outfield positions. I can't, if the defense is going to continue to not be great, I need our best defender on the field. Always.
Yeah, it's a tough scenario because I think Anthony's kind of forcing the issue. If he's going to be somebody that is smacking the ball the way they said, what was it? Stats had it against Aaron Judge's barrel percentage last year, and it was almost like double what he had. So
Jay had it,
right?
As
Yeah.
well.
Jay had it. Jay had it.
He had Anthony's at 39%, 38.7% barrel, and last year only Ohtani and Judge were at 20.
Yeah, so he's
and no one else was in the 20s. Like, so he's basically doubling up. Obviously, it's AAA versus the majors, but doubling them up.
He's also sporting a 22% walk rate at fucking 20 years old, which is absolutely insanity.
20. It's just nice when the stats back up like what you're actually watching. Any of the Woo Sox broadcasts I've seen, like he's smacking the ball. It's ridiculous. Like he's hitting it harder than anybody else. Okay, stats
Shout
back it up.
Shout out the Woo Sox broadcast.
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. We're Kane heads. Shout out Jim Kane. And very nice message by Jim Kane that we all got. No, I think isn't it kind of obvious that he would be in the outfield? Rafaela would be the utility guy. I know what you're saying, Coley, but I just don't know what the other next most, obvious move is.
We have a clear worst outfielder right now, and it's left field. He's comfortably our worst outfielder.
I know it's always like getting Duran off
of
his stuff, but you can't have him out of the lineup. Jerry,
why? He's not playing well, Jerry.
Jaren's going to be fine, and he's actually
been hitting the
turned
ball
it up
hard.
recently.
He just hit an opposite
field
homer.
So is Casas.
Yes, you're right.
No, but Jaren's actually getting on base more than Casas. Jared,
I called on you, Jerry.
You kept talking.
I didn't.
Jerry,
Steve. All right. With Duran, I'm asking Coley this question. Question for Coley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel better about Duran if he's in center?
Oh no.
You don't?
No.
Why?
Duran, the center fielder, is not a better player than Duran, the left fielder?
Why would anyone be better in center than left? Left's easier.
I mean, I'm asking you as someone who watches all the games, does Duran not look notably worse as a defender in left than he does in center last year? He looked awesome in center.
I have to look at his whole career, and his whole career he has been very shaky in
this
center.
year.
Well, he had 17 DRS last year and 6 outfield or outs above average. He was arguably outside of Dalton Varsho. He was the best defensive center fielder in baseball.
Do you think he's the best defensive center fielder on the team?
No,
I think no, but I think his bat weighs out way more than Ceddanne Rafaela, whose bat is non-existent.
He needs to start showing that. Then
there's not enough of a gap there between Rafaela and Duran's defense to justify Rafaela's bat, especially when you're adding Roman Anthony to the equation.
And not to piggyback Tyler like statistical manipulation nonsense, but like Duran,
they seem like regular stats.
Duran is hitting the ball a lot harder than most big league hitters. Like he's hitting the ball hard. It's just
is he going to hit it harder than Roman Anthony?
No one hits the ball harder than
Roman Anthony. Will hit it better than Ceddanne Rafaela.
Sure. What are you getting? Exactly. What are you getting at, Coley? You want Duran traded?
91st percentile average exit velocity right now for Duran this year.
How much?
And then when he gets on, he runs into outs.
That was stupid today. There's no doubt
the steal
about
today
that.
was inexcusable. But they're also not going to take Jaren off the field. They're not going to do that.
I know they're
he's going to play 150 games.
We're also talking about an outfield where one guy has a contract more than 3 years, and it's Rafaela. I have a hard time believing they want to take him off the field at all.
Well, they're already choosing to sit him for Christian Campbell once a week. Outside of Tristan Casas, he's had his playing. No, but if you're talking in terms of who's had their time, manipulated or taken out of the lineup, after Casas, it's Ceddanne Rafaela, where they've been factoring in Campbell and keeping Duran in left.
Like the Red Sox are currently being run like a fantasy baseball team, where it's like Christian Campbell has outfield eligibility, so we'll put him there.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Just to get him in the lineup. But it's like people are playing positions where it's like they're not good at this. Like Jarren Duran is much better as a center fielder than he is as a left fielder, but we're putting him in left field because he has eligibility there. Like that's what we're doing with these guys.
I don't think it's going to be a hard move for them to make Ceddanne Rafaela a super utility guy and have Roman Anthony in the lineup in center. Because the gap between the bat is just not worth, making him an everyday center fielder, Rafael.
I think that's the worst plan because I think he's the worst defensive center fielder out of the three of them.
Like, not even center, just having Roman in the outfield and having Duran in center field.
Sure.
Like, you think Roman's better than Duran?
No, I just said he was the worst. Clean the shit out of him.
I'm saying Roman and Duran in center. Yeah. I just think that's the most obvious thing that they're going to do. That's the highest
They're going to put Roman in center.
Is that definitely going to happen that they wouldn't have Duran in center? So have they been very specific that Duran's just not going to play center this year? Has that been said, that exact line?
The way
I think it's because of Rafaela, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's not because of Roman Anthony. That's a whole different situation.
That's how I interpreted it.
But why would Campbell play center?
Campbell at second.
No. I'm saying when he has played center.
Oh, you're saying they're doing that to prevent. Yeah. Again, I still think that Roman Anthony's the top guy that they would value trying to get up here, and they would be willing to make that transition and having Duran go to center because of it. But
that's exactly why you put him in center when he wasn't. You know what I mean? You put Campbell in left.
Timeout. Let me ask Coley this question. Let's take a timeout here. the best, and I'm asking you to use the whole organization.
Okay.
Give me
Justin
the
Gonzalez.
best Red Sox team that the Red Sox can put on the field.
Juan Valera
Given
starting.
everyone that's in the organization, assuming the health of the player is what it is right now, give me your defensive alignment of what the best team the Red Sox can put on the field today.
Casas at first, Campbell's at second, Story's at short, Bregman's at third. We okay with that? How do we feel about that? Good, bad, indifferent?
I want Meyer in the mix.
He has to do something at AAA first.
Meyer also makes this impossible. There's not like moving all these guys around. It doesn't work.
I love Marcelo Meyer. He hasn't, to T's point, he has not performed at AAA this year.
All right, continue.
Are we okay? So you want Marcelo in there. Vaughn Grissom's been much better than Marcelo Meyer in AAA this year. Much.
Okay.
Bat speed's up 3 miles per hour.
And he hits right.
Say that.
We had a conversation had a conversation on Baseball is Dead this morning about how bat speed isn't really all it's made up to be. Like you can have slower bat speed and still
Justin Turner.
Luis Arias has the slowest bat speed in the game, and he's fucking flirts with 400 every year. So you need the full context. But continue. I digress. Give me your outfield.
I saw Pasquantino was talking about he got his bat faster and he can't hit it all anymore. He's like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's hard for me as a guy who was like trade Duran this offseason. He has the highest value. He's not going to have higher value than this. I still believe that they just didn't do it. Craig had an incomplete offseason because he didn't pick between Duran and Willier. But I would have Willier in right, Rafael in center, and Roman in left.
But I mean, okay.
But Durant's just out of that lineup. Yeah,
you can't.
It's just not going to
He's Terrence Gore. Comes in, steals some bags. Like, here's the issue. I don't think Rob Refsnyder should be on the team anymore. That's really where, because you're naming all these guys that need to get called up. Where the fuck? All right, Romy Gonzalez is like a third best player right now. Where are these guys going to play, Jerry?
There's no space for these guys.
Someone needs to get some fucking catcher's gear.
We've already killed Massa.
Yeah, Roman Anthony the catcher. Let's do that.
This team
reverse Bryce
stresses me out, and it not because of their play on the field. It's because they have so many players and nowhere to put half of them.
Craig he spent too much time trying to trade Casas and Yoshida all offseason when he could have been trying to trade Willier for fucking Alcantara, or he could have been trying to trade Duran. And I know that would have pissed people off. I understand he's popular. I understand he's good. Mad. It's not because I hate Jarren Duran. It's because they aren't going to pay him. He's not a long-term factor here. They've told you that. They've screamed that. So why wouldn't you trade him when his value is the highest? Doesn't make any sense.
It's because they're in the middle of
still help you now.
Exactly. They're trying to compete for a World Series, and he was their best player last year.
But you could have got a pitcher. Their rotation, they need a starter.
But you also need someone to hit at the top of the lineup and someone who can kind of give you that speed at the top. But that's what Cora talks about with Durant. I love Roman Anthony. He needs to come up and be that guy. Just, depending on rookies is unfair when you're trying to chase a World Series that year, especially from opening day. Even you look at the second game, the offense goes when Jarren Duran goes. He gets on. You see Bregman cashes him in. Then he hits the homer. Duran was the spark plug for this entire team last year. Once again, I think this year, the way Cora goes about it, he is the spark plug in a lot of ways. And he also is a Cora guy. He's one of the guys that Cora looks at as the example for everyone else in that clubhouse.
Yeah.
That stuff, it's important.
Didn't he say in the Netflix doc, he was like, if you guys have kids and you want them to grow up to be big league ball players, you want them to play like Jarren Duran. That's kind of tough to be like, now get the fuck off my team.
He called Chris Sale's opening day starter and he was gone.
That's different. Steve,
how?
Same exercise with Coley. What is the best team the Red Sox can put on the field today?
The best team today, Tristan Casas at first. You got, Christian Campbell's at second. You got Trevor Story at short. You got Alex Bregman at third. You got Roman Anthony at left. Jarren Duran in center. Willie Abreu in right.
See, I feel pretty confident about that. Yeah, me too.
And I'm also, Coley, what you're bringing up is not invalid, but
Narvaez
it's also
is your catcher.
I mean, I guess who
He's
else? He's
everyone's catcher.
Sean Murphy.
Yeah. Sean Murphy's the catcher. No, but it's Coley. You're not wrong with the logic. It's just that now that we're at this point, and obviously they valued Jarren Duran very highly, want him in the lineup every day. He'll probably play 150, 155 games this year if he stays healthy. That's the goal. Roman Anthony's coming up sooner rather than later, and I just think that makes the most sense to put him in left and then move Jarren Duran back to center.
It's also something I've been stressing all offseason. Really fucking stupid to call up Roman Anthony now, not 6 days ago.
Agreed.
Really fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's a separate
because you're going to burn a year of his L, and he's not going to re-sign. So you shouldn't bring him up. Actually, he should not come up until September.
But then you're just wasting. Then you're just hurting yourself. You're
not. You're hurting yourself if you bring him up now and he wins Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, but I'd rather just have him on the team for this gap. Yeah, they're going to need that. They're going to need him for this gap.
Like, think about it this way, because if you're the Red Sox, you have to understand we spent money this winter. We traded assets for an ace, and you're looking around the American League. And if I'm Craig Breslow, I'm not going to say it publicly. I'll say it to myself. There is no fucking excuse to not make the playoffs this year. None.
No shit.
None. Yeah. The American League is a fucking joke.
It's a joke.
If you're not putting the best team that you possibly can on the field, you're doing such a disservice to the fans that support this fucking team and the fans that have been waiting year after year after year, false promise after false promise to get back to how we used to be. It's like, all right, fine. We had an off season where fans were like, fuck yeah, things are changing. They did spend money. They did. And then giving Crochet the extension. Things are changing. Like they're going back to how they were. We're spending money. We're trading for aces. We're signing star players. Like this hasn't happened in a long time. So there's a lot of expectation. That's why, if you do listen to 98.5 the fucking Sports Hub, there's more callers when they're losing because the expectation is high and people are like, What the fuck? Like people are invested right now. So I don't know how, if you're an executive or an owner, hold on. If you're an executive or an owner of this team and you don't put the best team possible on the field, what are we doing? Like I'm not managing this team. I'm not in charge of like the roster construction of this team to win the World Series 5 years from now. My job is to win the World Series this year. And then we'll worry about next year when we get to next year. So
you can't piss on Roman Anthony's long-term future. That's stupid. You can't burn a year. That's dumb.
I don't think it's burning. It's wisely using. I think it'd be wisely using Roman Anthony this year. You're misunderstanding
what I'm saying. If you play him now and he wins Rookie of the Year, you lose an extra year. They shave off a year of the end of his contract. You do not have as much control over him.
He has to win Rookie of the Year, correct?
He's
it's nothing.
Probably going to. We're saying we have to do all this shit. Of course he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Like that's what's going to happen.
But then if he does, the point of all this, to Jerry's point, is to get back to being a World Series contender. And
no doubt.
If we're that confident that he's going to be that good, I think the difference in what he would provide to this team is worth it. I think it's worth it to lose a year, Anthony.
Breslow said it. You turn the dial to the present. It's not about the future. And if you're chasing the World Series right now, they're not worried about 6 years from now.
But he did a bad job this offseason.
But you have a half a decade window where I remember before growing up, a MLB player's prime was 28 to 32. Now it's 22 to like 27. Like the prime of a player's career is moving down this way. So you have Roman Anthony as a 20-year-old. He comes up, say he wins Rookie of the Year. All right, fine. Shave a year off of control. He's out there saying, I won't sign an extension. If he ends up being an impact major player on a championship team in Boston, you don't think the Red Sox, if they're winning World Series, won't be like, what's the number, dude? Like they did it with Chris Sale. They did it with Chris Sale.
Mookie Betts. They did it with Mookie Betts.
That was different.
Why? He didn't win a World Series? He didn't win MVP?
He did, but it was,
he wasn't good enough to pay? You think Roman Anthony's going to cost less than Mookie Betts?
No. I think it'll be.
Actually, why would they pay him?
If he's 25, I don't know. I don't know how that would shake out. But
he'd be a $500-600 million player.
It was a different scenario because with the Mookie Betts thing, and we've had this conversation 6,000 times. I know, but they had gone over the luxury.
Compare him to Chris Sale. That was wildly disingenuous.
Well, no, the example is that they spent money after winning the World Series, big money. It's not the same as a Mookie Betts contract, but if we're talking average annual value, they spent big money after winning the World Series.
But their homegrown guy who they waited to pay they didn't pay. They traded him.
They obviously fucked that up.
If you're
no one is sitting here denying that. No one's sitting here denying that. But
like I would have been okay. Just call him up 7 days ago. Like I've been yelling for 7 months. I think that's
the mishandling of the situation.
Yeah, that was stupid as fuck.
You should be more committal if you're going to call him up in the next 2 weeks.
Just call him up last week. That's all you had to do. Like, and the long-winded way you're trying to say is you got to trade Willier. Because it doesn't make sense. You can't carry all these guys. You simply don't have enough roster spots. I know the Dodgers have 75 guys on their 40-man. I don't know that we're going to be able to pull that off. So what the long-winded way of what you're saying is Willier's going to go.
I think they'll play it out this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they move Duran in the offseason. If they see Roman Anthony make the leap and Christian Campbell, and these guys become the cornerstones, and like, we don't need the support of a Jarren Duran maybe like we did a year ago. You know, he regresses a little bit. He's a good player, not a great player, not a top 8 MVP guy. Then that's an easier pill to swallow. I have a harder time seeing it this year. It's not going to happen
during the season. 0% chance during the season. 0.0. But I think you saw it during his arbitration handling. Like the front office and Alex Cora do not see eye to eye on a lot of this shit.
I just think for Duran as a whole, it's his age and it's where he's at and it's the type of ball player he is. You know, and I think at the end of the day, right now, it makes too much sense to keep him on the roster because the roster needs him to be where they're at and to compete at the highest level. He is one of your best players, offensively and defensively. I know he's had a slow start to the year defensively. He was one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball last year. I'm not taking that away from him.
Yeah, but again, last year he had his best year by far at everything. Yep. 2 years ago, no one was like Jarren Duran's the best defensive player in the league.
He made huge strides in 2023, though. He became an average outfielder at that point after being horrendous. You've seen the growth year to year with Kyle Hudson.
But if Jared's saying his prime is now up because he's the third oldest guy on the team, then why would I continue?
That's not what I'm saying.
He's 28. You got these are the
that's
years.
The end of Jared just said that's the end of the prime.
All right. Well, just because Jared framed that as the prime doesn't mean he doesn't function as a player anymore.
That's not what I meant.
I just want Roman Anthony on the team. And if that means moving Duran to center, having him in the left, getting the benefit of what Roman Anthony being on this team means. If you're trying to win a World Series title, he gives you the best chance. If that's the point of all this and you got to shave a year, like I know you don't want to do that, Coley, but I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to do that. So it's not really about what's good or bad in our eyes. I think that's what they're going to do.
I'm not joking the slightest. Craig Breslow should be fired today.
Yeah,
because it's inexcusable for Roman Anthony to not be on last year. That's so fucking stupid.
If you're going to lose a year here, if it means you're going to win a World Series and you're going to make that push, you eat it.
You'd win the World Series if you called him up in September. You'd win the exact same World Series.
You don't know that because that's 3 or 4 months of him playing at the big league level and getting comfortable.
That's a lot of time.
You're telling him to be one of the most important players on your roster or potentially carry you, and he's called up in September.
If you're saying they can't make the playoffs between now and September.
He also can't be in the playoff roster at that point. Am I wrong?
No. They changed it. You have to be in the organization by September 1st.
He's on the he has to be on the 40. He can absolutely play in the playoffs.
There's a huge difference between a guy spending a season in the big leagues.
You won't want to have 1 month of experience and then be a big piece of a playoff.
Xander did it.
But not everyone can do that. I would way rather get the benefit of what Roman Anthony can do to this team.
Talk about the number one prospect in baseball. Why are we saying he can't do things?
I'd rather just him do it this way than that way. I'd rather have the extra time than not have him to get 1 month and then play in the playoffs.
I asked him to start on opening day.
We're not disagreeing with when he should have been up here. Like if he was on opening day,
that's a gross mishandling of this situation. If they call him up this weekend,
100% for like this current situation though, with looking towards the future, like I'm fine with them having him up on this roster and figuring it out that way. You're going to lose service, of course, but like I think he gives you the best chance to win a World Series this year in an American League that blows.
He's just like gonna win the Rookie of the Year.
That's a big assumption. I know that would be like what people would probably expect if he gets called up now.
It's not just that. He can win Rookie of the Year or if he wins MVP in his first 3 years, which both seem super likely.
I
don't know, but
we also all booked Christian Campbell to win Rookie of the Year a week ago.
No, I know. We have 2 Rookie of the Years.
That's because Roman's not up. The second he comes up, he's going to be an absolute darling, and you know that.
He would be the favorite. But still, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I'm again fine with him being up on this roster now. Yes, they handled it poorly, but I would rather have these months, Coley, instead of not having these months.
He's not going to win Rookie of the Year. That's not
don't the Orioles get
he can be the runner-up and still have value.
Babyface white boy that's coming up this year. They've got
like, don't the Orioles got some fucking Joe Mahobe coming up that's going to be the favorite once he hits the majors?
Yeah. What about Jackson Jobe still has Rookie of the Year candidacy? Yeah.
Probably. The Tigers kind of stink though.
Aren't they in first place?
Basayo too with the Orioles. They call him up and he looks like Devers. You know, the swing already does.
There you go.
I think he's the most exciting guy coming up through the Orioles system right now.
I thought you were about to say of the rookie
Yeah,
class.
that was
gonna bang you so fast for that.
No, but he's another guy. Like, he could come up. I love Roman Anthony. I think he's going to be incredible. I think he's going to come up and perform, but you don't know. Anything could happen. He could get injured. Something could happen. Like, I wouldn't just shoo him immediately in as rookie of the year because I think Christian Campbell could make just the same push.
But the Red Sox would push for Campbell because they already have him extended. Like, they would have the media do the same thing they did last year with Rafaela and not talk about Willier at all, even though Willier was the more deserving candidate.
You said all offseason you believe Christian Campbell was the best prospect in the Red Sox farm system. That's what you said.
That was your take. A few times, yeah.
Correct. Jared? So why would you immediately put Roman Anthony above him for rookie of the year?
Because I know how this works. What? I mean, I don't want to say it, but I know how this works, and you do too. Don't act stupid.
I don't know what you're inferring.
Jared?
Why are we ruling out after Roman Anthony gets called up if he has a hot month and they just put a boatload of money in front of him? Why are we ruling out that he would say that he wouldn't say yes to that? Like, we'll just automatically assume that it's 100% he wouldn't take it. Like, what if they give him 150?
I think he's laughing in your face.
I 150. I would hope for him that he doesn't take 150.
It's the Casas reaction.
Jackson Merrill just got 135 after playing a full year. If he plays a month and gets 150, we're like, hey, like Merrill had to play a full season of being a 4.5 win player to get 135. We're giving you 150 after 30 games. He's
Merrill
saying
got
no?
like 230.
Yeah, what was his contract?
135.
230.
Roman's just
230.
No,
money wise.
135.
It was absolutely. He got $100 million in options as well. Like, it wasn't 130.
Okay, so then do that. I
agree. I've been calling that since fucking what's his name? Rodriguez out in Seattle got that deal. No one wants to do that. I don't know why.
Well, I think the player hasn't come along. I think the player's Roman Anthony.
I guess this is a number one prospect every year.
Roman's also in a spot money-wise.
The Orioles weren't going to give Jackson Holiday any money. They don't do money.
No, they don't pay anyone.
No. It had to be right player, right organization. And
no, I agree. I would love it.
Roman
if they
and
do
Boston
it,
is the pairing.
If he can debut and the next day he signs, all my problems go away. Literally all of them. If he's sticking to his word, which I have no reason to believe he's a liar, and T wants to say he signed for overslot bonus and already has enough money in his pocket where he doesn't feel the need to do it, he's not hurting. Yeah, I kind of believe him. I don't know why I wouldn't. He's no one prospect.
I hear more about this from you guys than anywhere else. I don't hear a whole lot of Roman Anthony doesn't want to sign long term.
There's also just too much unknown. From? There's too much unknown right now.
He just spoke about it the other day.
You got to see how he plays up here. You got to see what real talks look like. Fake talks and real talks are massively different.
They just asked, was there anything similar along the lines of what's going on with Christian Campbell? He goes, not anything significant at all. For me, it's not really anything I'm thinking about. I think those guys are probably pretty far along in the spring and going into the season, as far as my knowledge of it. But as far as mine goes, nothing. I just think he's the kind of guy.
That doesn't sound super negative.
No, but he sounds like they haven't approached him.
Right.
He spoke over the offseason as well as something that he was willing to kind of let play out and see how it kind of goes. I think he's just in a place where he knows what he's going to be worth rather quickly. And if you're not in a place where, like Christian Campbell, you signed because you got slot when you signed, the price is just going to continue to climb. And if he's that confident in his ability, like Casas was, he's going to tell you, I don't want to sign the team-friendly deal because I think I'm going to get 600 at 27.
I'm hearing it from you and like on this podcast more than, if not exclusively, that he's not interested in a long-term deal. But listening to that quote, it sounds like it's just like, yeah, like they haven't approached me. It's why would I be thinking about an extension? They haven't talked to me. And and like I haven't made my big league debut. I think that there's a lot of nothing from anything I've ever read or heard Roman Anthony talking about the subject has given me any indication that he's a guy that's like, I'm going to free agency no matter what.
Got a better
Mookie Betts straight up
just made
fucking said it. Like Mookie Betts every year was like, I am going to free agency. Like, don't even bother, dude. Like, I have no interest in extension. Like, fuck off.
But he also gave them a number and the Red Sox refused to meet it. T
400.
Yeah. So this is the offseason quote.
Pennies.
Right at the start of camp. I want to be a Red Sox for as long as I can, but it would have to be something for me that was just an absolute no-brainer. Other than that, I'm just going to try and do it the good old-fashioned way and try and go out there and just get better every day and not worry about a paycheck. Minimum salary in the big leagues is a lot of damn money. And it's a lot of damn money to be able to play a kid's game for a living. That's good enough for me. If something like a long-term deal were to happen, it'd be a blessing, but I'm not really worried about it. I think for
that, I don't know.
It's not that he won't consider it, but he's said like on multiple occasions, like, listen, it's going to have to be a deal that absolutely makes my jaw drop, and you're going to have to completely overwhelm me.
This is
the Red Sox
don't
can
all
do
players
that.
say this, by the way? Don't
Christian Campbell said the opposite.
I know, but I'm just saying more often than not, especially with this organization, you should try to keep your leverage and try to be like, hey, they're going to have to come with me with something that's legit. I still think Crochet signed for less than he should have signed for. And we probably still thought that he was going to go through the season and not have a contract the way it was going.
And Derek Crochet said, I'm fucking done listening to the Red Sox and their bullshit offers.
He still signed
the deal 5 days later.
It's just his comments are extremely similar to Casas. It's of the exact same vein.
Well,
like every player's
the Red
different.
Sox
You never know
don't
how
even
it's
like that they have to pay him $900K.
Yeah, they were also fucking begging on their knees
Casas
2 years ago to try and extend them. So let's
for nothing.
Here.
So
they were begging
him on a team friendly deal.
Crochet and Vladdy set these lines that they wouldn't cross, and then their agents were like, "Hey, we're for sure locking out," and they were like, "We'll renegotiate." So I don't know that Roman Anthony feels the same pressure. He also is probably going to end up like Chris Bryant, Mookie Betts, like winning arbitration in a way other guys haven't.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm trying to win a blue moon in my hand. That's the good shit right there. Because Blue Moon was born in the ballpark of the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado, so it's no wonder why you crave it. Its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience that is perfect year-round. And for the moments that you want a lighter option of your favorite beer, reach for Blue Moon Light. It's a refreshing wheat beer brewed with real tangerine peel for a lighter, exceptional taste at only 95 calories. There will be plenty of Blue Moons being served this weekend at my house for WrestleMania. Steve is going to be there, yes?
Can't wait. Yeah, I'll be there.
Just Saturday?
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Hey, when the dog calls, I'm always ready.
Yeah. Yeah. But for me, when the moon calls, I'm always ready.
Mm-hmm. You've been saying it for years.
Yep. Inspired by the beer you already love and available year-round, a wheat beer from Blue Moon with exceptional taste and only 95 calories, brewed brightly with real tangerine peel, tastes light and refreshing. Nothing compares to the great taste of a Blue Moon Light. Blue Moon made brighter. Get Blue Moon Light delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared for delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Suck one.
Preggy for Breggy. Who took flight? It was SETI. Bueller's nuts. Heavy. Hammy hates to bunt. Newcomb kept the Sox in front. Whitlock on the hunt.
Anyways, go ahead.
Newcomb licking that cunt.
A series of Taikus by Tyler.
Jake, I would like to nominate that first one for Taiku of the Year.
Balls Heavy was hilarious. I love that.
Yeah. Whoever is out there that keeps track of Taiku of the Year nominees, that first one.
It's probably Garrett.
It's Garrett.
Yeah, come on.
It's Garrett. All right, Garrett. Mark that down. Taiku of the Year nominee, the first Taiku. Second one, I mean, you had the perfect opportunity to drop a hard C and you just fumbled the bag.
That's a word I wouldn't tweet on my Twitter.
Why?
Because I have an employer.
So what? Oh.
They say worse live on air.
If I tweeted something like that within
heard worse.
10 minutes, I would be called to take it down. I promise.
By who? By who?
Likely first the people I work with on the show, and then eventually the program director. I've gotten in trouble for much less on Twitter.
Well, I remember a certain tweet you had
that one was crazy. It was a banger though.
If
you know, you know.
That
If
one was,
you know,
as,
you know.
as the kids say, out of pocket.
It was a banger though.
No,
I knew when Pete Blackburn called it a banger, it was fire. That's when I know I hit it.
That's when you
tweet.
know. When Petey Pumpkin says it, that's when you know. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Well,
I miss Pumpkins. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. When was the last time? Section 10 night?
It was
September?
Section 10 night, yeah. So I was little ass walking around.
His little ass? That's
He's
crazy.
a little guy. Yeah, little ass doesn't really work
He's
there.
got a big ass.
He's actually, he's a firm ass.
I see him every night. His pictures on the wall out there.
Okay. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Red Sox lose 16-1.
So
I
where
did
you
too.
trading Willier?
I think T was the one that said he wanted to trade him.
I'm not trading Willier. No, I'm putting Rafael's ass on the bench.
So who's getting released?
You want my outfield? I wasn't asked the same question as everyone else.
I mean,
I would
who's your three guys on the bench? That's, I think, the most important question, because is Rafael going to Worcester?
I think that's a consideration because you got to
That's
weigh it out
crazy.
between
I
him
agree.
and David Hamilton.
I agree.
Because if they look at Rafael and they're like, hey, by the time the
Hammy
offseason comes,
game, you know?
but by the time the offseason comes, we're probably going to move Duran. Let's send down Rafael to work and actually fix his plate approach issue that has not improved. He's making more contact and he's not striking out as much, but the quality of contact's garbage and he's still giving you these 3 or 4 pitch at bats that are essentially useless. If you think you're wasting him away on the bench a little bit, I think there's a line of thinking that way in keeping David Hamilton. But I think the issue with David Hamilton is he hasn't got time in the outfield like they originally promised he was going to. So for now, I'd put Rafael on the bench. Duran, I'd put in center field, Anthony in left, and Willier in right. Campbell at second. And you got to let Meyer play this thing out, but you knew this was going to be a concern when you signed Alex Bregman. It's also why those opt-outs are there, and they are looking at it and saying, hey, if you opt out, there's a clear pathway for Marcelo Meyer.
I think it's less likely he opts out.
You laughing at Jerry?
Yeah, but if he keeps looking the way he did right now offensively, like you got to think, the last couple of years, he's had good, not great numbers. He escaped the slow start. So if he's able to look like he has from May through September the last couple of years, this is going to be his best season in probably half a decade.
Yeah, I'm more saying with Vladdy off the market, I think they'll Matt Chapman his ass. Like, I don't think Bregman's playing for another baseball team. This is what I'm saying. I think he's going to be a Red Sox the rest of his career.
I think by the end of the year, they're going to be in that spot as well, whether it's working out a contract that makes sense for both sides or not.
Right.
And then I think you're having the Trevor Story conversation. Does he have good enough a year where you can attach a prospect and that deal doesn't kill you? I think that's on the table too.
Again, if the idea is the window is now, why are they getting rid of Story?
If they look at
Depends how the
Story,
year goes.
that if he's like a good league average bat and he's been better than that so far and playing above average defense, but he fits into the same Jarren Duran thing, he's going to be 33 in a year.
It's also an assumption he stays healthy the whole year.
Yeah. And at that point, how many bags do you expect Trevor Story to steal in his mid 30s? And how long can he play good defense at shortstop? But it all comes together in the same convo. If you're looking at Duran and you have those same concerns, it goes tenfold for Trevor Story at this point in time.
Yes and no. I mean, I get what you're saying, but one of them has trade value. If you're talking about attaching a prospect versus getting something, being in the plus, then it's a wildly different conversation.
Yeah, you are weighing different things at that point. But I think with Story as a whole, if he, 124
and
OPS
Meyer has to force
aggressive.
that issue too, which he hasn't yet.
And that's the other part of that equation too.
Fucking Mikey Romero's more forcing the issue, and I love Meyer. Franklin Arias, like right now, if you were to bet on one of the three being the next starting shortstop, it would probably be Arias. No,
I wouldn't put him ahead of Marcelo yet, but I do think Franklin Arias is a very underrated prospect.
It's just more timeline than anything. It's not even like a knock on anyone. I love Cello, but it's just like, the next couple of years he probably does end up at the
weatherman,
or
that could be a full conversation at that point too. But with Arias, it's like he's in Salem right now. Let's see if he gets the AA, and he's off to a hot start. That to me is more Arias. I wouldn't be surprised if you flip him in a trade and he's one of the big pieces you put to go get a Sandy or whoever it may be.
Sure.
Marcelo fits your window right now essentially perfectly.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
But like you said, it's the value. of do they look at Duran and they're like, we can get something so significant and real for him, which is going to remain the case, even if he's like a 5 or a 4 win player. But if they look at Franklin Arias, or when they're kind of looking at Trevor Story, it's like, we're essentially attaching something just to get rid of him. They're just different types of deals, different ways of going about stuff, you know?
What's funny?
Nothing.
Classic not funny reaction.
Yeah. Looks like something's super not funny right now.
Yeah. I agree with you guys.
Hey, they're gonna have to find more Phantom IL spots.
They probably will. There's not enough spots. They'll figure it out. Right,
I think Ref Snyder needs to get DFA'd like sooner than later, honestly.
Well, didn't he threaten retirement last year anyway?
Yeah.
He wanted that option picked up.
Oh, shit.
And now he's just taking up the space. Like, he obviously is still fine, but he's taking up space.
Mm-hmm. I've been saying it.
I also feel like a team's going to call on Romy and be like, we want him. Like, he's going to be an everyday player for us because, like, now he looks like he can actually hit a right-handed pitcher, which he couldn't do it all last year.
Yeah. And
with his speed, defensive profile where you can play multiple positions, he can even be a little bit better than a league average bat. It's a game changer.
Yeah. T, what's your heart tell you on the Roman Anthony situation?
I have a hard time with it, honestly. Like, I believe the at-bats were good enough. If you had the spot open on opening day, he should have been there. And I also believe with what he's shown, if you're going to call him up in the next month or so, or maybe even the next month, he should have been up before the date so you could have him eligible for the pick. But I feel like they're going to be a little more patient than people actually want with this situation because they're going to hope an injury figures out everything for them. So I'm going to guess he's not here by the weekend, but I think by the middle of May, it's impossible to keep him down.
The middle of May is what you're saying?
Yeah, like beginning mid-May, they get to a point where they feel like they have to.
It's only 3 weeks out. Not too far. 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, give me a date, T. Give me an exact date.
Let's do May 10th.
May 10th. Okay. I like that.
Why does that sound like something in Section 10 history? Wasn't May 10th a thing? Am I making that up? Or it was like an Independence Day of something that we made it. May 10th Day? Is that a thing?
Oh.
That just like rang a bell.
May 10th?
I think there was like an afternoon game. We're like, what the hell is that? Oh, it's May 10th Day. Like, so obviously, that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Someone
Certainly
listening,
possible.
Remind us.
Garrett will know.
Garrett will have that in 3 seconds.
Let's see.
I think it's May 10th Day, right?
I don't know.
Well, it's impossible to search on Twitter now. It's a joke.
I disagree. Yeah. That was 2023. It was very recent. Happy May
10th Day. I'm seeing it on 2021 too.
I was like, 23 makes no sense.
Stat of the day: the Red Sox are 17-10 on May 10th Day since 1993. That was from 2021.
Oh.
May 10th Day was a thing. I forget the specifics, but it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, like someone literally. I'm not a fan of May 10th Day. Happy May 10th Day. Let me be the first to wish people of Baltimore a happy May 10th Day. Something happened in 2021 where
May 10th.
Yeah.
Weren't they in
Garrett,
Atlanta? May 10th.
We got you on the case, Garrett. Figured
21.
Yeah. What was May 10th?
Cole's dying.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Cole
Didn't
is sick,
sneeze.
man.
Don't have to.
Crazy.
I hate seeing Coley sick like this, brother. You know, because he was so healthy before. Before he was sick, he was so healthy, and now look at him, pathetic. Yeah. T, do you want to say anything about Justin Slayton's performance tonight? Not to jump ahead.
I thought he was absolutely filthy. And I think he showed why, like, he's someone that if you don't have Aroldis Chapman in for a game, you shouldn't be sweating because he has the stuff to be an elite closer. And tonight, that curveball, holy fuck. And Stats had the tweet. It was great insight on it. But Slayton threw 5 curves. That's the second most he's ever thrown in a game. He's thrown less than 100 of them total since coming to Major League Baseball. So the fact that this is a pitch that's coming along for him and it looks like that, dude, it was moving like a Kershaw curveball. That was the kind of vertical drop it had. You add that to his arsenal and how much he can pound the zone. He screams everything about being your closer of the future. And that's not to say demote Chapman or anything like that. But when Cora runs him into the ground by the middle of the year, I think Slayton's going to quickly become the most important guy on this roster in terms of the bullpen.
Are you shrinking in your chair?
Me? Yeah, I'm leaning
going
back.
down.
Much lower.
Yeah.
I was getting comfy.
Yeah.
I appreciate that he's a psychopath. That's what I like.
Screaming like that. He's starting to feel himself.
Talking to himself. And then I didn't like that he was talking to himself like that and then dropped a curveball. Like when you're hyping yourself up like that, that's fastball mentality.
It is a little crazy to go from that to like a 12-6. That doesn't exactly. I'm going to curve the shit out of you right now.
That was the Pavetta MO. Like start screaming some shit and then drop a hammer curve.
That is kind of a Pavetta curve when it was really cooking. He had a really good curveball. He had one there, Slayton, where it was definitely a ball and he was kind of leaning in, looking at the ump. I'm like, dude, your curve looks nasty enough that you don't need to try to get one that's like half a foot above the zone. Like, let's just dial back in, find your spot. It was way up. I don't think it was even that close. But then the next pitch, next pitch was genuinely one of the best curveballs I've seen a Red Sox pitcher throw in years. Which is the perfect one to end the game and then flip out and yell and all that.
Dude, Pavetta
had a nasty curveball, and he's killing it.
He maxed out at 56 inches of vertical break on that curveball.
That is 86 miles an hour.
That is crazy. That is absolutely insane.
It's insane. I mean, that stretch by the bullpen in the finale, not jumping ahead, was about as good as it gets.
Greg Weissert might be my favorite pitcher to watch, who I fully admit will suck like at once every like 7 outings. Like he will absolutely be cheeks.
I'm just enjoying this because I thought you were going on the path that I'm at where it's like, let's enjoy this because I think he's eventually going to be very bad. So like, I'm going to enjoy this version of him. And obviously he's had a good stretch. And again, shout out Stats actually had some good stats recently and maybe a little less negative recently, which is nice. But yeah, had some really good stuff on Weissert. Yeah, Stats is kind of back to the stats, which is really cool. But had a good stat on Weissert since coming back from Worcester late last year. And what he's done, I think it's 2 earned in like 22 innings, something crazy like that. Obviously, the ball, when he's cooking, is moving like a wiffle ball, and he's really fooling guys. So that out was enormous. And it seemed like Newcomb was a little pissed about coming out. I wanted to ask you guys about this. How much do pitchers now care about wins? Because when we were growing up, if a pitcher got taken out with 2 outs in the 5th inning, it was like, oh, wow, that's kind of a dick move to take him out right now. He seemed to be a little bit upset when he was getting taken out of that game. Maybe it's more you just want to close it out, finish the inning clean, and then let the bullpen start a clean inning. But for Weissert to get that out, first and second was the out of the game.
Yeah, I think it was less about getting the win and more just like
leaving guys out there and not finishing the job.
Well, I already know that I'm out of the rotation. I shouldn't even be here today. So like if I feel good enough to get these outs, then I can make a case to get another start, like live to fight another day.
It just took me a second to realize the two, like, because we used to be programmed that way. When there's 2 outs in the 5th inning, it's like, oh, wow, he's taking him out. And now that's just not really a thing we do anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if he just didn't walk Danny Jansen to lead off the inning, he would have got
out of it. It's a pretty easy equation. So I don't feel
that.
No. Not about feeling bad, but he did seem to be kind of bummed to be coming out. But
I bet. Really good outing. But if Cora had left him in there, I would have felt bad about the team.
I would have been bummed about it, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a terrible idea.
Say, you're the manager of the Boston Red Sox. What are you saying to Newcomb after an outing like that?
Great. Fantastic work. Overall, what you were able to do for 4 starts in the rotation, like, was it a grind and was it ugly at times? Yeah, that first inning in Baltimore was terrifying. But for Sean Newcomb to go out there, a guy who did not have a 40-man roster spot, hell, he freaking beat out Quinn Priester, who did have that 40-man roster spot. But for him to show up here and give you just 363 ERA, 256 FIP over 4 starts, what more do you want?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the line, T. You have a line with Newcomb. I don't know if you know that you have a line with him.
What is it?
You have a go-to. Hey, can't ask for much more from him.
You can't
ask for much more. No, you can't. You can't.
That is
really
it, though. You brought this guy
tonight,
on.
you genuinely can't ask for much more than what he gave you.
Even the White Sox, Casas sunk that start. It wasn't anything crazy, but he didn't absolutely flop and shit his pants in any of these games. If anything, it was the defense that let him down at times. That's it. He's not going to go long. That's why he's in that 5th starter spot. And he showed he's good enough to be a swing man on this team if you care enough to keep the depth.
Go it.
We all like him better than Criswell, right?
Oh, easily. Yeah.
I don't know. Criswell was kind of like the flavor of the week last year.
I'm talking right now. If we're talking power rankings, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're just talking now.
Criswell can sit in AAA.
Keep the depth.
Right.
Traffic guy. Like you got to go into a Newcomb start knowing there's going to be guys on base all the time, multiple guys, but he's not going to allow them to score for the most part.
Have they had it and I know he's a fill-in 5th starter and like Giolito and Bello are going to be back and all that, but he's the most bend don't break guy I think I've ever seen. Obviously it's a small sample size here, but I swear innings start with guys on 1st and 2nd. Like he hasn't thrown a pitch yet and they're like, all right, you go there, let's get this thing going.
Yeah.
That's
The dude gets double plays like it's nothing.
He starts with ghost runners in the 2nd inning. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I said it his 1st or 2nd start in the scoop shop. I said he grew up with a Dice K jersey, and Jared was like, he was a big Okajima fan. He just didn't get what I was saying at all.
I knew what you were saying. Yeah, that was funny when you said Okajima. I thought that was like, we're just going Japanese guys. Like, he loves Koji.
Kayagawa guy.
Yeah, he loved Matsui. That was his guy. Like, what are we?
He's just a traffic fellow, which I'm fine with as long as the defense doesn't fail him, which didn't tonight.
Yeah.
T, you made a good point.
He only throws
T
5
made a
innings.
good point. I got to give T credit. You've said it on this show. You put the tweet out there, and I don't know. And see, this is what drives me nuts when we talk about the Sox defense. They do things that you just don't expect to be part of the fan equation, even though it's happened the last 2 years. The lack of bad defense or pathetic defense, as a fan, I'm just like, oh, right, they didn't suck tonight. Like, I didn't even think about it, which was great, but you shouldn't have to think about it. I want to get to the point as this season keeps going on that we don't have to be like, thank God they weren't awful defensively. And that's maybe one of the first times tonight where it didn't really cross my mind. But I did see you put that out there, and it's valid. It's like, that was a huge difference. 1-0 game. If they were booting a couple balls and, had more traffic on the bases, they lose this game and they lose the series. You get a day off to feel terrible about it. And then a White Sox team that you haven't been good against, so you're probably not going to feel great about that series either. So the defense kind of was the difference in the finale. Not to jump ahead.
I mean, do we want to talk about the 16-1 game? I sure fucking don't.
I think we already did, right? We did a whole thing on that.
Yeah,
I think the
we
Roman
did.
Anthony segment was about game 1.
Yeah. But that's where it was like super unfair all offseason to be like, oh, Story will be back. The defense will obviously be fixed. You can play Devers wherever the fuck because Story's got his back. And then Story's standing behind second base, laying balls that go to Rafaela and 5 runs score. And it's just like, all right, maybe it was unfair to put the entire 9-man defense on one fella. Like that maybe was not the best idea. Bregman had some bad looks. Obviously, everyone made up for it in game 2 and 3. But yeah, the defense needs to be everybody. It's not just, Trevor Story's there, everyone else is fine. That's not the case.
Yeah,
Even
I never
Campbell
thought
in the game 2 had a slick glove, like the best he's played defensively too.
But I felt like in game 2 and 3, Story set the tone with those spin throws. Like it was the same play, almost mirroring each other. But when you see what he's able to do up the middle, that's what gets everybody else going. It allows everyone to settle in. I think Bregman, to hit me, when you're talking about the defense and things going wrong, it does start with him. Because when you're brought in as the Gold Glove third baseman and as this guy that's supposed to, hey, you're calming a lot of this stuff down, you're the veteran, and you're throwing balls away, gotta be better than that. He'd say the same thing.
Hey,
I love that.
God,
is that what you were doing that whole time? Is that why you were laughing?
Yeah. Okay, I was like giggle fest over here. What's going on?
Wait till the fellas get a load of this one.
Just wait for him to say, hey.
Okay, you got it lined up now. Hopefully that's
minus
added in for the future. Yeah, it's ridiculous. If you had a bingo card, he's kind of already hit all the key ones tonight. That play specifically by Story, and I maybe missed the other one. Sometimes you miss stuff during the live streams. I don't know if I saw the other play by Story in game 2. That play is so hard to make as a shortstop. Like you're using all of your momentum just to stab the ball that's going to be going into center field. Now I got to twist and turn and not, get all discombobulated trying to do that and throw a good ball to first base. Kind of intentionally bounces that to Tristan because earlier in the season he had one, like you guys mentioned, that I think he threw in the dugout. But if he can consistently make that play and hit like 250, 260, like that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, he just needs to be on the field. I don't give a fuck about his bat. I really don't.
I give a little bit of a fuck about it. I give a small fuck about his bat.
Hitting fifth for you right now.
I give a huge fuck about Mac Weldon.
Oh, yeah.
And he's doing it. Like,
I give a huge fuck about Mac Weldon.
He's doing that Mac Weldon. I agree.
Yep. He's buying it, dude. He loves it.
God, yeah, he loves it.
He's doing it.
Yep. Fortunately, Mac Weldon has everything that you need to stay cool, comfortable, and stylish, regardless of the temperature. Their new tech linen combines the easy charm of classic linen with Cool Max technology to help you look and feel your best all season long. Explore polos, sweaters, hoodies, and more at macweldon.com and get 25% off your first order with the promo code section 10. And, you know, I've seen T out in the wild here, and boy, does he look fly wearing that Mac Weldon polo to work. He's got the sweaters. He's taken Martha out on dates, rocking the Mac Weldon. I've gotten plenty of feedback from Martha. She's like, oh my God, T never looks better than when he wears his Mac Weldon. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll get him some more. Because looking confident doesn't always mean calling attention to your clothes. Mac Weldon balances classic pieces with updated details to keep you looking sharp. They're not flashy, just classic, always in style, and made from the world's most comfortable performance materials. Mac Weldon clothes are designed to fit your style and the demands of modern life. They look like regular clothes, but feel like the latest in modern comfort. They're the go-to choice for guys who want to look great without even trying. This describes Tyler to a T. Breathable underwear that keeps you cool, dry, and comfy all day long. They have crazy, comfortable, but elevated sweatpants. Give your closet a breath of fresh air for spring. Go to macweldon.com and get 25% off your first order of $125 or more with the promo code section10. That's macweldon.com, promo code section 10. Yeah, I think we gotta talk about the fact that Alex Bregman went 5 for 5, couple bombs, and then was just like, you know what? I'm off to see the birth of my son. That's pretty cool.
Highest WRC plus and OPS of any third baseman in baseball right now.
Boom. Yep. I mean, that's not to say that
and he's potent.
The defense, yeah, he's got swimmers, brother. The defense hasn't been what we have hoped for so far, but I think he knows that.
That's what makes the babies, the huge ones. The huge comes.
If you think you're not going to broad up with tiny comes, it's not happening.
No. You need the big comes if you're trying to reproduce. Everybody knows this. You need the BCs.
Yep. He's dropping bombs on and off the field.
His glove's been great. It's been the arm.
Throws.
Yeah.
Actually, in this series, it was the glove. That
no
ball
one
he booted.
Caught anything. Yeah, no one caught anything on. That second inning was an hour and a half long.
The story play behind terrible. Second base was so embarrassing. I was embarrassed for him.
When I saw some of these plays that Bregman and Story were making in that first game, my first thought was the lighting has to be fucked up there. Like they gotta be.
They can't be seeing it.
Right. Like they were making mistakes and errors that Trevor Story and Alex Bregman don't make. Right. So, and I know that they're also both guys that aren't gonna after the game be like, yeah, the fucking lights are like the, around the ball. It's a spring training facility. Like it's not made for the big league ball games. So I'm gonna make an excuse for them. I'm gonna say, yeah, the lighting is crazy there.
It was fucking cold, you idiots.
It was cold
out.
Trout had a ball that fell in like that, that he lost in the lights there.
I mean, their right fielder tonight ran 17 feet past the Durant double.
That being a double, hilarious.
I still hate
scorekeepers
dark.
Once again. It does. It looks dim. Everything looks dim out there. It's super light in the Sacramento one, but not in Tampa.
Anyone else have anything that they want to say about this series?
Walker Buehler?
That'll do it.
Walker Buehler. What do you got on Walker Buehler, T?
Honestly, pitch mix wise, it wasn't anything significantly different. He's still leaning on the four-seam fastball more, which we've seen him kind of lean away from the cutter since that first start. He did throw his hardest pitch of the year, 95.7. The velo across the board was up half a tick or more. So I think you're starting to see, as it gets a little bit warmer outside, you get away from some of the colder weather, the stuff's playing up to where it needs to be. But I just thought the way he pitched the last 2 innings, listen, it was 3 strikeouts, 3 whiffs. He wasn't missing bats, so he was nibbling, but it felt like he was gutting through that start. And I think that's where you pay Walker Buehler, where your stuff isn't quite what it once was. You're not going to miss bats to the same degree, but damn, you know how to pitch in that 4th and 5th inning. It also helps when Ceddanne Rafaela makes a ridiculous grab in center field to save you a run, or possibly 2. But I thought Walker Buehler showed some real friggin' nuts in that start. Hopefully you get that over the course of 162, because that's the veteran kind of piece in the middle of the rotation you're going to need if Tanner Houck can't be that guy.
In your estimation, Tyler, what's the deal with Tanner Houck?
I think his command is no longer what it once was. And I think those first 2 months of the year when he was pounding the zone, he was throwing strikes 66% of the time. It's down to 60% now. The sweeper, it's averaging 2 inches less of horizontal break. So that pitch that once was moving like crazy. And even you go to his last start, it was moving like it did a year ago. But he was super splitter heavy in this start. And yeah, that's probably because you look at who's in the Rays lineup. You're getting the Misners of the world, Aranda, Brandon Lau, these lefties he's trying to get out. But if he doesn't have perfect command, he's fucked. And right now it's just a lot of slop. It's sinkers in the middle of the zone. 407 opponent's batting average against sinkers, 389 on the splitter. It's slop. It's shit in the middle of the zone, and the sweeper's not playing like it once did.
It is tough when we look at the spring training and how, poor spring training that Tanner had. And then he finishes with like a 10 earned run appearance, I think is his last one.
Against the Rays.
What's up?
It was the Rays that was the team that went nuts on him at the end.
No, exactly. And
was
I'm
that
looking
same
at
park too?
I believe so, yeah.
Was it? That's actually insane if that's going on. Yeah, let's blame the lights for that one too, honestly. But I was looking at that start and kind of idiotic. But hey, good to get the runs out of the way. Think he'll be fine. Made the All-Star team last year. And then gives up 11 earned runs in a game at a spring training park, but then in a real game. The fact that the Red Sox have been around for 124 years, I think that number's correct, and no one's had a worse start than that ever, very concerning. You put that on top of the spring he's had.
Who said that?
It's the most earned and the fewest amount of innings by a Red Sox starter ever.
Per who?
Love that.
I saw the stat all over. Yeah, that's definitely right.
Per the world, I think.
Cite your fucking source, Steve.
Yeah, what's the source? No, I actually know who it's from, but I'm not going to say. It's from someone you don't love. Yeah, that's who I saw it from.
Who?
It's from G-Bob. It's from G-Bob. I saw it from G-Bob.
Is it really? Yeah. So I question the legitimacy for that.
No, but they were, probably referencing game notes or whatever. So I would expect that it is true. Either way, he's gotten absolutely smoked. He allowed it's his 18th earned run. I think he's given up 18 earned runs. That happened on June 6th last year. So it's been rough, very rough. One of the chilliest baseball savants you're going to see. A lot of barrels, and he's just not missing. He's not missing bats. They're hitting him hard.
Yeah, and that's where you're seeing the homer issue, right? He's already given up 5. Right. He got to that total on June 29th. When you're throwing a sinker in the middle of the zone, a sweeper in the middle of the zone, fucking Yandy Diaz, first pitch, they were ready. And that's why some people, I think, were trying to figure out if he was tipping or not.
Nesson wasn't ready.
No. And Cora, you're right about that, Steve. And Cora is like, no, he's not tipping. The shit just, this is what it is.
Sucks.
But look, you go back to the All-Star break last year, right?
Brother's throwing poop out there.
He
what
is.
do you mean? He's not tipping.
Guys, he ain't tipping. He just blows this year. I don't know what's going on. Next question.
But it's not even this year. You have a 15 start sample size at this point in time, and he has not been good in a while. It's a 5.38 ERA over his last 15 starts, a 5.09 FIP. He's striking out less than 6 per 9, and he's walking 3.5.
It's a major concern. I mean, we go into this season, I think Coley's alluded to it, and we probably expected a little too much. Maybe not when the season started, but at least in the offseason. Okay, Tanner can be your number 2. He can be the guy behind an ace if you get an ace. Okay, they got an ace. They extended an ace. And the gap between that ace and the next guy remains pretty large. Now, Buehler's had a good couple of starts here, and that's been good to see. You're going to expect a decent amount from Bello when he comes back, but that's the biggest concern right now. I don't think it's even close, right? I mean, the defense is always going to kind of be lingering, but who the number 2 starter is remains at the top of my list of concerns.
Tanner Houck has already walked 19% of the batters that he walked last year. He's made 4 starts. This is how bad it is. 18 2/3 innings, 27 hits, 20 runs, 19 of them earned. Obviously, the hits and the earned runs lead the league. It's a 9.16 ERA, but don't worry, Tyler. It's only a 6.93 FIP to go along with the whip that's almost 2. It's 1.9, call it 3. That's horrendous. And last year led the league with a 0.6 home runs per 9 allowed. Led the league. It's at 2.4 this year. He's already allowed 5 home runs after only allowing 11 last year. All of last season in 180 innings, he allowed 11 home runs. He's already allowed 5 this year.
I stand corrected, by the way. You are correct. Yeah, 19 earned runs. That didn't happen until June 13th of last season for Tanner Houck. So even worse than I initially thought. It is as bad as it gets, honestly.
There's a lot riding on Brian Bello to be what he was in the second half.
A little too much.
That guy.
We're being
He
honest.
hasn't looked that great in his rehab outings. Like
he
hasn't
wasn't
had
getting rocked
that.
in Worcester.
That's not true.
Yeah, I'm
he gave up like
on that.
wasn't he getting rocked? He gave like 3 runs in the first 2 innings, right? Of that last start.
I
A
didn't
lot of the
say-
under
I
the
didn't
hood
say
stuff
he's
was
looked
really good going
bad,
into
but
the
he
night.
hasn't had that one like 6 innings, 1 earned run, 9 strikeout. Like he hasn't had that. He's been like all of his rehab starts have been like, all right.
His
okay.
K percentage is super high. That's all I care about. I don't give a fuck, honestly, what's happening run wise.
I care if he's giving up hits and runs to guys in AAA.
Eh.
That matters.
Like, yeah, I mean, cool. Like if he strikes out 7, that's great. But if you give up 4 earned runs, that's who cares about how many?
That's our
people you
number
strike
2.
That actually is awesome for our
So
number two.
Absolutely our number 2.
Going into tonight, it was a 6.52 ERA, but a 1.59 FIP, striking out 13 per 9 and walking 2.7.
out. So you're saying the Woo Sox defense sucks?
Yeah, you said
What
Nick
he-
Sogard sucks, Tyler?
I
Is that
love
what I
Nick
heard?
Sogard. I'll die
what
for Nick
you said.
Sogard. But he's missing bats at a really high clip, and the velocity is playing higher than it has been. The slider has been getting a lot of whiffs. I think there's a lot of encouraging signs underneath, which is the opposite of what Tanner Houck went through this spring.
And
Underneath
He does
Giolito.
have a 7 ERA. during
Giolito's
this
been
stint.
bad during the rehabs. Like he's been bad.
Yeah.
He's not missing
He
bats.
even said as much. I think he called Cora
No.
and was like, I suck.
I
I
don't
suck. I shouldn't
I
be on this
believe him.
team.
Yeah, like that's.
If you guys want to
kind
do
of-
another year and just like paying me for nothing, that would be great. I'd be totally down with that.
I can
Thanks.
hang down here. It's fine. Like it's whatever.
I'll be
You just-
honest.
These guys are
Oh,
cool.
Danny.
I think there's a real conversation that'll exist with Giolito. It's going to exist, I think, even with Houck. Does Richard Fitz have better stuff than either one of them at this point in time?
Does Quinn Priester?
Yeah, he got to
geez.
Milwaukee and they're like,
Ooh.
watch, we're going to make him useful.
Ooh.
He's kind of
Dealt
cooking.
again last night. Yeah.
I'm fine with it because Yo
Still.
Ferry's been raking. Every time I look up, he's hitting a triple or a homer down high A. But
Yeah, shout out to Hunter Knoll for keeping us locked in on all of that.
Quinn Priester has been shoving for the Brewers. Only 2 starts,
Mhm.
but I'm starting to
Cy
wonder.
Young.
I'm starting to
Hall of
wonder
Fame.
our self scouting, how that's going.
I think even looking at Houck and how he's able to adjust here, like Andrew Bailey was able to unlock him for 2 months. Is there a way you can at least make him a starter that functions, or is he going to be garbage? Because there is blame that should fall on Andrew Bailey if you can't get him to where you need to go. Like you should be able to at least make him competent. I'm not telling you he's going to be the number 2 for this team. If he looks like this all season and he goes completely off the rails, that's an indictment somewhat.
I mean, if he looks like this for 2 more weeks, he'll get surgery, whether or not his arm needs it. Like
You're right.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah,
cut
this
him
is-
open.
This is looking like one of my worst takes of all time that I was like, yeah, no, he's going to be even better this year than he was last year.
Well, it makes Cutter Crawford's return. Like he just threw a bullpen. It's like, feels like that guy is important. It feels like Hunter Dobbins, who's probably going to come up for a spot start. That stuff,
I
when
like
you compare
Dobbins.
it to Giolito,
You can tell Dobbins has that fucking dog in him. Like he's got that bulldog.
it's also,
He's
he's
gonna-
going to pump 97. Giolito sitting 93, 94. Like there's just a quality of stuff difference there.
I'm higher on Dobbins the rest of the year than the other 2 we just named.
Who's the other 2? Giolito and who?
Houck.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy either.
Like I don't know. I don't know what's wrong
Like
with Houck.
if I said like red pill, blue pill, I got Dobbins and Fitz over here, and I got Giolito and Houck over here. I think you're taking Fitz and Dobbins. Yeah,
yeah. I don't
think you're going.
Although I don't really
Fitz
trust.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust the Fitz diagnosis. Like that's a wait and see for me.
Well, he's
They're
got
a
like
little
a
too
sore
optimistic.
booby
Yeah,
hurts.
that was a little too optimistic for my liking.
Mm. Got a sore little booby.
That's what they said in the press release. He's got a sore booby.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Bello and Dobbins.
Cora met with the media and he was like, got a sore booby. You know?
Yeah, guys, you know what it is, sore booby for Fitz. And, you know,
and
so
honestly, booby's a little sore, you know?
Yeah.
I do
We'll
believe
wait for it.
take it day by day.
believe the boobies it's gonna be okay.
He starts spamming booby.
Yeah.
They get a booby.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a torn booby. It's just a sore booby. So, you know, sore booby day by day.
We'll reevaluate. We'll get with our guys and
Pete, stop asking me about it. Okay, sore booby. Okay,
Yeah, sore booby.
Don't know what else to tell you. All right, next question.
Mm-hmm.
Suck on it.
Yeah, okay.
Suck on that sore booby.
Sucking on a sore booby. You know?
Red Sox win 1-0.
Yep. All right. Should we get some votes in here?
Let's do it. This will be interesting.
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest ones ever.
Is it?
I think I know who's going to win, but
yeah, I think most people are going to vote for one person, and
it's not going to be unanimous. No chance. Like there'll be a couple sprinkled in here.
This feels like an outside the box voting process.
This is one of the funnier series to have ketchup.
The Clark's Ketchup Series MVP brought to you by Clark's Ketchup. Drizzle that ketchup. Wow. It's been a minute. Fear. First vote for Clark's Ketchup Series MVP belongs to Jake Yazzie.
Yeah, it's a tough vote here. I considered Newcomb. I considered the bullpen from today. But I think I got to go with the guy who went 0 for 4 in Game 1 and didn't play in Game 3. It's Alex Bregman, going 5 for 5 in Game 2.
Like that pick, Jake. It's a good vote. Tyler Milliken, next up.
I badly wanted to vote for Alex Bregman, but I couldn't convince myself to do it. And I don't think Cora was perfect in the series. I didn't love the Aroldis Chapman appearance in the second game. But overall, him pushing the right button after that first game and kind of waking everybody up, from the players to the coaching staff to the way the bullpen was ran tonight. Even in the first game, making sure that you had Michael Fulmer out there eating shit with his below average stuff. You were able to, build this bullpen over a 3-game series to set up what happened tonight. I'm going to give it to Alex Cora.
Oh, okay. Alex Cora with a vote. 1 vote Cora, 1 vote Bregman. The McMahon.
I heavily considered Cora. I think he gets a packet, except for all the reasons T said. I don't think Alex, it would be my top Bregman. Mrs. Bregman gets a ton of packets for what she's going through right now.
BC.
Pushing out young Jared Coley Bregman. Can't wait to meet him. Young JC.
Yep.
But for me, I think it even goes to the loss. I'm giving it to the entire bullpen because of the shit eating that happened in Game 1, because of the big outs that happened in Game 2, and because Newcomb leaving. Like when Weiser, I wanted to give it to Weiser. I give him his own packet outside of all of this. but that felt a little preposterous to me. I'm giving it to the entire bullpen. Weiser comes in. If he doesn't get those outs, we lose that game big time. Like we're not talking catch-up right now. But then everyone that comes in after him, Whitlock, looking like the guy, Slayton, scaring everyone, scaring the hose. So I'm giving it all the catch-up to the bullpen.
The bullpen gets a vote.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, you can do that.
We gave it to the fucking Washington Nationals last year.
That's a good take.
Nationals, you can do whatever
I'm kind
you
of jealous
want.
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, ketchup is what you make it, as they say. Steven, your vote.
Yeah, this won't be too surprising. This guy, very much a lead by example guy, and he is doing that right now. Got to do it a little more with the glove, I believe. What's the percentage I have written down here? He's like 4th percentile and outs above average right now. I believe it was 91st percentile last year. Let's clean that up, Breggy. But 5 for 5 game. Pops out a kid. He didn't pop out a kid. That would have been crazy. Mrs. Bregman pops out a kid there. He's got a 162 OPS plus right now, which is insane. 929 OPS. Yeah, like I mentioned, got to clean it up defensively, but 12 total bases in one game is silly. When we're at that live stream, Jerry, he was close to that cycle. I got to say, that ball off the bat, I'm thinking this has a damn good chance. If that ricochets off the wall, probably rolling for a little bit, and then he probably would have been standing up at third base with the first cycle since Brock Holt. But yeah, the catch-up for this series, which once again feels like a series that was never going to have catch-up, goes to Alex Bregman.
Okay. That is 2 votes Bregman, 1 vote Cora, 1 vote bullpen. For me, when I vote catch-up, I think about what was the moment for me that stood out the most in the series. Who is the guy that when things looked the worst gave us the most hope? What was the performance that made me start believing again? The answer to that question was Alex Bregman going 5 for 5. When he hit that first home run, I was like, that's pretty cool. I like hitting home runs. That's fun. When he hit the second home run, I was like, this is a statement. This is a statement piece. Alex Bregman said, enough with the losing, enough with the bullshit, enough with the errors, enough with the bad vibes around this team. We need something that's going to stand out. We need something that's going to get the folks excited at home. And boy, were we excited on the live stream last night when Alex Bregman went 5 for 5 with 2 homers and how many runs batted in? 4?
In game 2, he had 4 RBIs.
4. It was the performance of the
First
series.
5-hit game of his career.
Correct. It was the best performance of the series. It was what changed up the vibes when, let's not forget, going into that middle game, we wanted death to come for us. And instead, Alex Bregman came for us. And that's why I'm voting for him for the Clark's Ketchup Series MVP. Now to the panel. Tom Karen, TC, says tough one. Go Bregman. Dave O'Brien. I guess Breggy. 5 hits and a baby. Jemai Webster. Is it crazy to go Alex Bregman? That's my pick. Can't win the series without getting the first one. And then I believe there's an audio submission with Will, and Lou.
Yes.
And then we have an audio submission from Hogdale.
Yes.
So here he is. Without further ado, it's Hogdale.
Lads, we are back after a 2-series absence in terms of catch-up. The Boston Red Sox have finally won a fucking series, and it was a weird series. Like, they get this a win in a weird series against the Tampa Bay Rays, where they get absolutely fucking shit-canned in game 1. Yeah, Tanner Houck definitely not getting the catch-up this series.
No.
That'd be wild.
In terms of catch-up vote, it's definitely an odd one because all the guys I want to give catch-up to, there's like weird arguments against them because like none of them played in all 3 games of the series. And honestly, arguments you can made for the guys we want to give that they only played in 1 game in the series because game 1, I mean, at least in the terms of the season, doesn't count. Like, I'm not going to ever think about that fucking series again. I may turn to huffing paint just to kill the brain cells as to where that game was in the series. Mm-hmm. That being said, like, listen, in terms of giving out catch-up, I'm giving out to the guy who's shown the brightest, the guy like who gave us the offensive output when we needed it the most. We're all preggy for Breggy. Yeah. I'm giving it to Alex Bregman, the man who missed game 3 because of the critical condition of him having sex 9 months ago. Yeah. So the new dad, once again, Alex Bregman, he's getting my catch-up. He is my Clark's Catch-Up Series MVP of the week. Let's fucking go, boys.
Thank you, Hogdale.
Go.
It's another vote for Alex Bregman. Also, I just want to make sure, because no one has done this yet. A catch-up packet has to go to David Hamilton. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, without the swing, they lose the series.
They won 1-0. It was a David Hamilton home run. That's what won the series. So, I mean, it maybe he's not the MVP, but he absolutely has to have a catch-up.
Multiple packets.
Whitlock deserves a packet.
Who?
Maybe a couple, yeah.
I gave him a whole
ridiculous.
Who?
Garrett Whitlock. I don't think you can get a bottle if you don't win.
Every
MVP.
time he answers, you talk over him. Who?
Garrett Whitlock.
Okay, thank you.
Big cock Whitlock. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. It's their fault.
Thank you.
Some of us respect
here
the bullpen.
is the Tampa catch-up vote submission from Loomer, Will Middlebrooks, and Will motherfucking Fleming.
Howdy fucking do. What's up, fellas? I can't say that 2 nights ago I figured we'd be standing here, the 3 of us, in the turf bullpen here at the spring training home of the New York Yankees. But I got Loomer, I got Brooksy. Fellas, an important and pretty impressive turnaround these last 2 nights, huh, Lou?
Didn't see that coming after the first game here. This place turned into a bandbox, into a graveyard today. Nothing was leaving this park, but whatever. Give me 2 wins down here in Tampa, and I didn't have to go into the Trop.
Brooksy, I think all of us kind of have a similar idea about catch-up here. Kind of a different series, a lot of things going on. But we have to acknowledge packets galore to the bullpen tonight.
Oh, you beat me to it. I mean, they were fucking nails, right? Whitlock comes in throwing flames. Weiser, I thought maybe the best we've seen Whitlock since 2021. Just the fastball changeup combination. Then Slayton comes in. I love he kind of went psychopath there, talking to himself. He sort of like punched himself in the face there in the 9th. It was awesome.
All in all, Lou, what'd you think of this park? I mean, I like it much better than the Trop. There were people in here, the Red Sox fans, standing up at the end. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not used to playing the Rays like on the road and it feeling like a baseball game. And that's what this place felt like. They should stay here forever. Maybe add a few more seats, but this was a lot more fun than the Trop. It's nice we have people in the stands.
It's novel down here. Duran puts the Wally mask on for the first time. Hamilton does too. Bullpen great. I thought Sean Newcomb was really good tonight. But I think we're all leaning one direction for catch-up, aren't we?
I mean, it's got to be Daddy Bregman, doesn't it? I mean, like, you get your ass whooped 16-1. He shows up the next day, not on my watch. I'm going to leave you boys. I'm going to go home, a little paternity leave. Nah, it's got to be Bregman, just for what he did game 2.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bregman. If he had 8 at-bats yesterday, he would have got 8 hits and probably hit 3 homers. He's just that locked in. He didn't have to play game 3, and he's getting it.
New dad strength came a day early for him. We hope everything goes well with Reagan. Not too much drama in this one, but yes, the Clark's Catch-Up Series MVP is Alex motherfucking Bregman.
Still batting 1,000. Will Fleming. First ever Clark's Catch-Up Series MVP for Alex Bregman.
You go, Alex.
That's amazing. Congratulations, Alex. I'm going to have to let him know.
He'll be pumped.
Congrats. You
like,
won.
who cares about the kid?
Clark's, this is the biggest, most important thing that's going to happen to you this week. Catch-up Series MVP. Very prestigious.
We played his song.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Gotta play it.
All right. That's big time. Big time for Breggy. All All right, let's keep it going.
When I go to Stop and Shop, I can cross off everything that's on my list.
Tactical move! Incoming!
Stop and Shop. Look ahead. Stop and Shop.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead. Red Sox win, leave them dead. Red Sox win, I'm seeing red. Stop and Shop, we look ahead.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
What's better than having to Stop and Shop, getting it done for all of you?
The Stop and Shop look ahead, brought to you by Stop and Shop. Head on down to Stop and Shop right now, and you can get 10 cents off your fucking tangerines when you buy at least 5 pounds of tangerines only at Stop and Shop.
Verbal code.
Promo code section 10 only when you go inside the store, though. So unfortunately, you got to be like section 10 and then they give you the discount.
Mm-hmm.
Bregman responded already. He said, "Fuck yeah,
fuck yeah, fuck yeah."
That's yeah. He wanted to give an ode to Jake in his response. All right, Stop and Shop look ahead. It's a 4-game series because they wanted us to have Sunday off for Section 10 so we could watch WrestleMania. So the schedule makers were like, all right, this is going to be a 4-gamer so that Steve can watch WrestleMania, which we obviously appreciate that very much. T, by your estimation, who goes on Friday?
It looks like Hunter Dobbins. Cora alluded to it very heavily before today's game.
So Hunter Dobbins versus Martin Perez, we see him again. Garrett Crochet versus Shane Smith, we see him again. Tanner Houck versus Sean Burke, and then Walker Buehler versus Jonathan Cannon, who I believe threw today. Yeah. All right. Martin Perez, he's throwing the ball well. He faced the Red Sox this year in his last start. 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. It was his worst start of the season. He continues to have walk issues. Red Sox had 7 hard hit balls out of 12 total, with 4 going 101 miles per hour or more. Red Sox didn't really take advantage of that, though. He did keep the Red Sox off balance, 13 whiffs. So yeah, Martin Perez. Game 2, Garrett Crochet. His 81 game score on April 2nd versus Baltimore was his career high. That was until his outing against the White Sox, in which he registered an 82 game score. That was 7 1/3, 1 hit, 1 earned, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. Absolutely dominated. The 11 strikeouts, most he's had with the Red Sox by 3, 18 whiffs, most that he's had with the Red Sox by 4. The velo is back up after the dip during the cold game at Fenway. Cutter continues to go down in usage each start. Shane Smith, 0-1, 2.04 ERA. Does not strike out guys. He's a Danvers kid. Solid start against the Red Sox. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Got a little bit of luck on his side against the Red Sox. He allowed 9 hard hit balls, 7 being 100 plus miles an hour. Red Sox went 3 for 7 on the 100 mile per hour batted balls, only 1 double. Game 3, Tanner Houck. It's bad. His sinker is getting dildoed. 407 average, 741 slug, 3 bombs, has not struck out a single batter on his sinker. His main issue is lefties. Lefties are hitting 436, 532 on base, 769 slug. That's a 1301 OPS, 4 bombs, and 39 at bats. But against righties, it's not so bad. 263 with a 668 OPS, only 1 home run. The sample size is almost equal. Against lefties, it's 39 at bats. Against righties, it's 38 at bats. So he's getting absolutely flamed by lefties. His one start at home this year was also his best. 6 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 2 Ks. So, I mean, maybe there's something there. Some home cooking for Tanner. I don't know. We'll see. Sean Burke. St. John's Shrewsbury kid. He's got a 7.56 ERA, which somehow is not the worst pitcher pitching in this series. Was decent last year in his first taste of the big leagues. 1.42 ERA, 3.32 FIP in 19 innings. This year, a little bit of a struggle, as we just said. His first game, 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts. But since then, he's thrown 10 2/3, 16 hits, 14 earned runs, 6 walks, 6 Ks, 5 bombs. He's a 6'6 righty, throws about 94 with the 4-seam, 37% usage with the 4-seam. His slider, 31% whiff rate. He's given up 4 of the 5 home runs on the slider, though. Loves to hang that thing. Walker Buehler in game 4. He's 2-1 with a 5.23 ERA. Much better his last 2 starts versus his first 2 starts. His first 2 starts, 9 1/3, 14 hits, 9 earned, 3 bombs. Starts 3 and 4, 11 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned, 4 walks, 10 Ks, only 1 bomb. So the walks are up, but I mean, he's still having better results. He's been much better against right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters, just like Tanner Houck. Against righties, 211 with a 689 OPS. Against lefties, 317 with an 833 OPS. Reason behind this might be his secondary pitches. He only uses a sweeper versus righties, and he only uses the knuckle curve versus lefties. Jonathan Cannon, 0-2, 5.79 ERA, 164 whip. Faced the fake Angels in his first start, going 5 innings, 4 hits, did not allow a run. Next 2 starts, 9 innings, 10 hits, 9 earned, 6 walks, 9 Ks, 3 bombs. He has a delivery similar to like Houck, kind of a junk ball guy, throws a cutter, change, sinker, 4-seam, sweeper. He spreads out the usage. It's got a weird delivery, a lot of spinny stuff. 4-seam and sweeper are his 2 least used pitches because they stink. They both get hit very hard, and he doesn't get a lot of swing and miss on it. So again, that is presumably Hunter Dobbins versus Martin Perez. That's Garrett Crochet versus Shane Smith. That's Tanner Houck versus Sean Burke. And that's Walker Buehler versus Jonathan Cannon on the Marathon Monday Patriots Day game at 11:10 a.m. Prediction time. I'm going to start with Steven.
Yeah, the Red Sox are 7-8 against the White Sox in their last 15 games against Chicago. That is absolutely pathetic. The White Sox pitching staff has given up the 6th fewest hits in all of baseball somehow this season. As you would expect, they have the fewest hits in their lineup in all of Major League Baseball, so that actually makes some sense. The Sox have played some of the fewest home games of any team so far, so maybe they get back to Fenway. And even though that hasn't been a place where they've succeeded much the last few years, it does seem like it might be a little bit different this season. Fenway Friday with Garrett Crochet on the mound. Very excited for that. Pumped to be in the building for that one. That's when you should wear the red jerseys, damn it. You need something out of Tanner. Tanner's got to give you something on Saturday. I do think they lose that game because it's hard to feel good about a Tanner Houck start right now. Jerry, I got to say, Benny's banana split. I can't assume they're going to win a series against the White Sox, which is kind of pathetic. A lot of that has to do with how they've played against the White Sox recently, and I would rather be wrong in a good way than wrong in a bad way. So let's go White Sox 2, Red Sox 2. Just win the Crochet start and then win Marathon Monday. Let's do that.
Crochet Saturday.
Doesn't Crochet Friday?
No. Crochet Saturday.
When I looked at probable pitchers, he was Friday. Did they move him back?
No. He's Saturday.
Yeah.
He's Saturday?
Dobbins Friday.
Friday.
Fuck.
Crochet could have started on regular rest. I think that's what you're thinking of, Steve, but they decided it's likely going to be Dobbins.
They had him in there for, I was looking at the MLB probable pitchers. They had him in there. I was looking at the MLB, blah, 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 blah. They had him in there for Friday. Damn it, that sucks. Okay, I was excited to see that.
You know what? You know why it sucks even more is because I've just fucking said Dobbins, Crochet, Houck, Bueller. You know,
I was listening to every second, and that's what sucks even more is that I was listening and I still messed it up.
Yeah, it sucks, dude.
Yeah, I'll take a split and can't wait to see Crochet on Friday.
Yeah, it's Hunter Dobbins.
Oh, damn.
You'll see him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. I'm like, it'll be great to see him in the dugout on Friday. It's gonna be sick.
Sure. Yep. Coley Mick.
So you said over the last 15 with the White Sox, they're 7-8. Last year we split completely with the White Sox. Yes. Last year
they might have won one more than they lost.
4-3.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Because they swept that series that meant nothing in September to make it 4-3. If I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Either way, we're 2 games below. I think we're just destined to kind of be weirdly 500 against the White Sox for no reason. So I'm going 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah. Get us up to 500 on the season against the Chicago White Sox.
Tyler Milliken.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3 out of 4 for the Red Sox here. I can't imagine you have a worse weekend than you did last weekend against them. You're going up against Martin Perez and Shane Smith. It should be an embarrassing look for not only Pete Fatsi, but the entire lineup if you just saw these guys and you can't figure out a way to hit them. This should be a spot where, hey, we see these guys. They don't miss a ton of bats. The command's not very good. Hey, I'm going to die. But those are 2 guys I would expect the Red Sox offense to clean up, especially at Fenway. You got Crochet in that second game. The Tanner Houck start, that's a loss for me right now. Even though White Sox worst OPS in all of baseball, maybe that is the right matchup because they're not going to square anything up off of him. But I'll take 3 out of 4. I don't feel great about Tanner Houck right now. But we're going to feel positive coming out of the series. And even though Casas will probably not play on Friday because of Martin Perez, he's going deep this series.
Wait, Cole, wouldn't the Red Sox
be 4-3?
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was confused too. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did I say something weird?
No, you're good.
No,
you're good.
No.
Cole,
Hey.
No one was listening to you because everyone was doing my math.
We were trying to do the math. I think what you said was great, T. I loved every part of it.
It was good stuff.
I cooked.
Jake, what do you got in this series?
I got a classic revenge sweep. These 2 teams fucking hate each other. I'm going to be in the building in Section 10 Friday night, so that should take care of the game 1
Crochet
win.
day.
Yeah.
Yep, Crochet night.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that. Yeah.
And I wouldn't rule out seeing a brawl on Friday.
Yeah.
Is Crochet starting that, or like hopefully he doesn't get hurt or anything like that?
He's finishing it. I know that.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Is this your first game in Section 10, Jake?
First one, yep.
Wow.
That's big time. Big time cookies.
There you go.
What did I say about the Rays series? I said 1 out of 3, I think.
Yeah.
So do I stick negative to motivate them?
On purpose.
No, you can't.
No, you're overthinking it now.
You can do whatever you want, but it's not encouraged.
No.
My body is telling me it's 3 out of 4. Yeah.
Which part?
My fucking weenus. It's weird. It's like 3 out of 4. I think the Red Sox are going to win 3 out of 4 this weekend, Jared. You should say 3 out of 4 in the podcast. You should say it. Say 3 out of 4. Don't listen to the people on Reddit. You're not boring. You're not
there
boring.
it is.
You're not boring. And T didn't school you in that debate about Casas and Bobby Delbeck. I listen to the podcast for you, not for Coley.
This is getting sadder by the moment.
You should say.
I wonder what Jeremy's going to clip off.
You should say 3 out of 4, because that's what we're feeling. Say 3 out of 4. So, all right, I got Sox 3 out of 4.
Okay.
With a broken heart.
Why would I be brokenhearted if they win the series?
I think the subreddit has hurt you inside.
I
a
don't
little
read
bit.
the subreddit. My weenus is
Completely
You just gave me the whole week transcript.
healthy emotions.
I don't read that stuff.
He doesn't give a damn about that.
Doesn't know how. Doesn't know how to read.
I don't have the app.
Mm-hmm.
And illiterate.
Yeah. I've been busy.
Too busy to learn how to read.
Mm-hmm.
36 years, just too jammed up.
Yeah.
It's overrated.
Mm-hmm. If you want to see the series this weekend, download the Game Time app. Talking about downloading apps, you got to download the Game Time app if you want to go to see the Sox this weekend, or on Monday, special day, Patriots Day.
Mm-hmm.
Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets the first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Steve, you're going on Friday, yeah?
I am going on Friday, yeah. Can't wait.
Oh, you download the Game Time app? You get tickets on Game Time?
Of course I got tickets on Game Time, brother.
Oh, yeah. Where are you going to sit?
I'm sitting in section 10.
Oh, okay. All right.
Very excited. 10's going to be really representing on Friday. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I like that. They get last minute deals, save up to 60% off buying last minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Game Time Picks makes last minute ticket buying even easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. Save even more when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats for you. Toggle their all-in pricing feature, and that'll show you the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code SECTION10, SECTION10 for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Okay.
I used to like when you would ask, what time is it? And then someone would say game time.
Game time. Yeah. So that's, I think they must have changed their,
I feel like you can do that though. I don't think
Steve, what time is it?
Game time.
Yeah, it's game time. You know what else it was? It was 76 degrees at first pitch tonight.
Ooh, it was. We got confirmation from Will.
Yeah, Will Fleming took the pick. Did he tweet it?
No, I replied to Garrett with it, figuring that that's fine to reply with in a tweet.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's not like, oh God, my dick's in there. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, right.
That would be wild.
If you don't listen to what Steve says, even then you might still wind up dead. Caught in a tornado, get smoked by your neighbor's shed. With a look ahead, Billy's gummy bears. Chew 'em with your mouth.
Weather look ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
You chew them with your mouth. Also, proposition, Steve, and maybe this will make all the fucking whiny people happy.
Oh God.
What if I shorten it down?
Wait, what's wrong with the song? Is there something wrong with the song? I got no problem with the song. People don't like the song.
I think we can shorten it down.
Yeah, we can trim it. That's fine.
Yeah. All right.
Weather look ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
You chew them with your mouth.
You chew them with your mouth. Thursday, by the way, only scheduled Red Sox off day in a 26-day span, which is absolutely pathetic considering it's early in the season. Figure that out, schedule makers. The Red Sox take on the White Sox in a 4-game set at Fenway Park that ends with the Patriots Day game on Monday that starts at 11:10 a.m., which remains great. Game 1, I don't care about the weather on Thursday. There's no game. Game 1 Friday.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to Fenway on Thursday. We are. Are we not? Are we not? I thought we were going.
I do the games, man.
I understand, but we are going to Fenway on Thursday. I figured we would have some weather for that.
52 degrees and sunny.
Okay.
Comfortably the angriest I've seen him.
I do the games, man. They pay me for the games. They don't pay me for the updates. I'm sorry.
Right, I'm just asking because I thought that you would have wanted to know for us. For
52
everyone.
and sunny. Game 1, Friday, 7:10 p.m. Eastern, first pitch, 55 degrees. Nope, cloudy and a 4% chance of rain, 15 mile an hour winds. Game 2, Saturday, 4:10. What?
What direction is the wind blowing?
Southwest. That actually is
all
correct.
right. Is that
if
not
I'm
important?
at Fenway Park, which direction is that? Like if I'm at home plate.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I mean,
kill
we
all
gotta
you.
know. We gotta know this shit.
I'll
Like
figure it
down.
out and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Down and to the left a bit.
Yep, there you go. It's all right.
Yeah.
Game 2, Saturday, 4:10 p.m. Eastern, first pitch, 76 degrees.
What is it really? In Boston? 76 degrees in Boston? What? Are you fucking with me, Steve?
I'm dead. I don't mess with this. I don't mess around with
76
this.
degrees on Saturday?
In Boston.
I feel like it's way too early to be 76 degrees in Boston. For
Jerry,
real?
I'm telling you right now, I quadruple taped this to make sure
This
it was
is-
right.
I'm
This is
seeing it right
100%
now.
correct.
So
In
I mean,
Boston.
I would have thought like maybe we're doing 63 at this time of the year. We're doing 76 this Saturday?
This Saturday, Red
In
Sox,
Boston.
White Sox in
It's
Boston.
gonna be 73 in Maine.
I'm telling you.
Oh
It's the first 76 degrees of the year. I wanted to sneak that one in on. That was the perfect reaction.
I
that
was
you just
not.
gave.
No, I almost stopped the music.
You were probably about to toss me because you're like, well, he's just making this up. Obviously, this
Yeah,
isn't.
76 on Saturday.
I'm telling you, that was a good one. Got you there. That was nice. Mostly
Wow.
cloudy, 1% chance of rain, 16 mile an hour winds. Game 3, Sunday, 1:35 p.m. Eastern, first pitch, 61 degrees. It's cooling off a little bit from game 2.
That's
Partly
fine.
cloudy,
We
0%
got
chance of
Saturday,
rain,
brother.
17 mile an hour winds.
We got Saturday.
Game 4, the finale. As we all know, marathon Monday, 11:10
I
a.m.
hope it
Eastern.
fucking snows.
First pitch, 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Partly cloudy, which is probably good for the runners. They probably like 50 degrees. 1% chance of rain. I care about the runners. 6 mile an hour winds.
I don't.
So a dry 4-game series coming up at Fenway Park against the crappy White Sox, who the Red Sox cannot beat. That is your weather look ahead, brought to you by Billy's Gummy Bears.
I don't care
You chew
about
them with your mouth and you respect those runners.
No, you don't. Do you know anyone that's running?
No, but I respect them.
I hope they add miles to the marathon.
That'd be crazy. They're like, we're doing 32 miles this year.
Yeah.
They tell them halfway through.
I hope they add 10 more miles and it's fucking uphill and snowing.
You hate those runners?
Yeah.
Do you know how many miles the marathon is, Jerry?
27 point fucking who gives a shit. That's
pretty, yeah. I
it's
think you got it,
isn't
basically.
Isn't it 27 point something?
It's like 26.2, I think.
26.2.
T?
26.2.
Listen, these people who just shit on people's yard during the marathon because they're in a rush or whatever it may be, get it the fuck together. This is one of my biggest pet peeves about these marathon people.
Yes,
They think they can shit and piss wherever.
These
M-words.
poopers.
Have some respect for the environment around you, man. People think you
Well,
just piss
I'm
on
sure
people's front step.
These marathon lawn shitters. I just can't do it
They
anymore.
do
It's a
it. They
fucking
do
real
it.
Shit in
thing.
your car like an adult, right?
They're-
T?
Yeah.
Or just like wear pants that contain it, man. Like the people just with shit pouring
no.
down their legs. That's crazy.
You think they make those? There's just a bag where the butthole is.
Put a diaper on.
The poop pants.
Imagine running 26 miles with shit diaper.
With a diaper
But it's
on?
just not even a diaper. It just like
Even
has a
a
little
dry
bag where the
diaper.
poops go. Yeah, even if it was
my
in a bag,
God.
you're running with poop hanging off you. Like that's terrible.
You should get like a colostomy bag put in if you're really about this marathon life and you could just like dump it and put it back in.
Didn't Brock poop himself on the marathon?
Everyone does, dude. It's
Sounds
not
about right.
It's too far for people to be running.
Exactly.
A lot of
The
people be
finance
pooping
dude.
themselves during the
Davis
marathon.
Clark, yeah,
Yep.
he had quite an accident last year, but he finished.
It looked
That's
like
my
blood.
guy. Shout out DC. I think he was bleeding too. People's nipples get all
Oh.
fucked up. Like T.
Oh yeah,
we need
no,
to,
it's not good.
T's. We're putting T in the marathon next year.
All right, yeah, T, you're running the marathon, dude. Congrats, brother.
There you go.
I'd like to check that off at some point.
Good job,
Yeah,
T,
you're doing
raising all that money. Give it
Mhm.
up.
Why
Shout
do you
out, T.
clap like that, huh?
Yeah, you
So
clap
people can
weird,
see
bro.
it.
You can see all of us.
You're
Just
supposed
lean
to be able to
back
hear
and
it,
clap. Why? Stop doing that. Lean
It just
back
hits
and
different.
clap.
Jake, can you see all
Tyler,
of us
please,
clap?
Tyler, stop. Please clap right.
I've
Just
always
lean back,
clapped that way.
That's
but
wrong.
just clap right.
We're telling you it's wrong.
Not lean back and clap wrong. Dude.
Yeah.
I can do it like this.
Like a poorly trained orangutan.
Yeah.
Let's go Red Sox.
Yeah.
I do it in real. I clapped his way in real life the entire time.
Greggy.
Let's go Red Sox.
Was it Brent? Who had the weird clap? Was it Brendan Fraser? You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, Steve. The viral
Oh,
clap.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a very strange one.
That was Brendan
He
Fraser.
did like a point clap.
Yeah. That was tough.
Yeah, no, you just had it, T. You totally just had it.
Yeah.
That's
No,
pretty
not
good.
Really.
That's
That's
not
fine.
great, but that's good.
It's
Oh, there
a
it is.
lot
I think he's
better.
doing
It's a
it.
lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Just doesn't feel
Jeez.
right.
That's
I
right.
have loose wrist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 76 degrees on Saturday, though, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Again, did a triple, quadruple take, and I knew you'd be happy, so I'm glad I got that reaction.
Yeah, I'm
What do you
pumped
think
about
the temp's going to be inside on Thursday?
I mean, that's basically what the question was. Yeah, temp at what?
Probably
MGM
68.
Musical?
Probably 68.
Yeah, it's probably, I'd say upper 60s.
Yeah.
No wind, just clear skies.
Gusty as fuck.
Yeah. I'm genuinely very excited. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, there's a chance we go backstage.
I'm going to be so pumped if we go backstage.
I already had another AEW wrestler reach out and be like, heard you guys coming. There's a chance they just beat the shit out of us.
I kind of thought that was going to happen last night.
Nah, Big Bill is a gentle giant.
No, I know. But I'm like, are you a Red Sox fan? What a moron. He's awesome. He is such a nice guy.
And like,
genuinely nice. Yeah.
There's definitely like celebrity sports fans where it's like, yeah, like I like the Lakers. Like Bill is going to Yankee games. Yeah, like he
his bachelor party at a playoff game.
Well, he was showing us photos from like the 04 ALCS where he was at. So like, yeah, he's a fan.
In Boston as a Yankee fan.
I like the way he turned down the Papagenos. Usually that's like a very sinful thing, but I thought he did it in like a very classy way. It stood out to me when I was watching.
He sticks to his diet.
I didn't realize you were watching, T. People missed you on there, but
I was checking. I was in the chat a little bit.
We need to preserve. It's almost like T's like Pedro. It's like you got to build in the rest, and you got to tell him that he's taking the rest, because if not, then he's just gonna grind himself into the ground. And we're basically managing T so that we have elite, well-rested T by the time the playoffs roll around. That's when we need him the most.
I hope. Let's see if I make it.
Yeah, we can't have T tearing his rotator cuff in April.
I think my UCL is fucking beyond cooked, but we're gonna keep throwing.
Well, we're gonna keep managing you so that you have some rest.
Can't
Thank
spell
you.
Tanner Houck without T.
That's right.
Yeah, when they announced the Tanner Houck Tommy John in 2 weeks, not good.
Yeah, Anner Houck doesn't really hit the same. Good point.
Mm-hmm. Steve, final thoughts?
Yeah, I got a final thought, Jerry. And I don't know if you tweeted about this or not. I kind of expected that you were gonna, but maybe you steered clear of it. The Braves announcer, the Braves reporter, that incident that happens there where he just simply asked for the girl's number. And I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was done in a way that was not disrespectful at all. I thought everyone seemed to be having a fun time with it. And then you got that wave of everyone coming in like, future journalists, like, don't do that. Make sure you don't do this. It's like, calm down. Everyone calm down. Everyone relax. I thought everyone was not everyone, but that group of people was flipping out about it and making it a bigger thing than it really was. No, it wasn't women. It was both. It was both sides. I thought both genders
I
of
think,
journalists. There were both genders of journalists that were flipping out.
I saw a lot of like journalists that were saying this is unacceptable. And when I saw it, I was like, I wouldn't have done that. But was it mean spirited? No, I don't think so. I wouldn't have done that.
Let's put it this way. When I'm watching it, I'm like, I've never seen this happen before, but considering that's the case, I didn't think it was done in some crazy way. I think they got in his ear and were like, you got to get numbers or whatever, which I thought that was probably the craziest part.
Didn't Gary do something like that? There was like a bachelorette party back in the day when he was Red Sox sideline. Do you remember this?
Maybe that does ring a bell. The first thing that comes to mind with Gary was him interviewing Darth Vader. I don't know if he got Darth Vader's number, but yeah, either way, I don't know. I thought it was such an overreaction to what he did there. Like maybe I'm sure he won't do that again, maybe. But then again, he tweeted out that I got a number. Like, how do you like them apples? So maybe he is backing it, which I support.
I don't think he cares. So to the women that were saying there's a double standard, and if a woman did this to a guy, then we would have gotten crucified and said that it was unprofessional. So like, I get why women were upset seeing it, because they're right. There is a double standard, but both should be fun. Like if a woman reporter wanted to do that,
I think that's fun if a woman reporter does that.
Yeah, like, but I think like to whoever said that or felt that way, it's like, you're right. There absolutely is a double standard, and that's not right. Like it's, if you wanted to do that and have fun with it, then there shouldn't be outrage over it. But again, like if I were in that position, I would not have done that.
I don't think it was egregious. I don't think anything was like over the top that happened there. And I watched it back to make sure like I didn't miss anything. And I'm like, no, everyone's having fun with this. Like, this is fine. I think it's more the concept of it is a crazy. If you told me beforehand what the ingredients of that video were, I'd be like, oh, this is probably crazy. But then watching it, I'm like, oh, this is fine. This isn't a huge deal. Not something to have these like paragraph quote tweets about. Like, let's calm down. But
she didn't seem uncomfortable. I think she was saying like, because the reporter was like, oh, they're telling me to get your number. And she was like, oh, they're telling you to get my number? Like, you don't want my number? Like, she was basically telling him, like, have the balls to own
have the balls to ask me.
Like, you asked me for my number. Like, I think she wanted to give him her number, but like wanted to feel like you want it, not like that, like you're doing this for a bit. So yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was totally fine. And lastly, not on this, but just I love that the Sox keep winning series finales. I love it for us. I love it for Red Sox Nation. It's incredible. 5-0 in series finales this month. Good teams win series finales, and that's what the Sox are doing. Keep doing it with a series finale win on the Marathon Monday.
McMahon, final thoughts.
All American journalists, for the most part, are fucking cowards. So I don't really give a fuck if that's what they care about. If that's when they have time to be outraged, they can go fuck themselves. That's how I feel.
I love
it. Here.
Yeah, outside of that, I don't think I have anything.
No. I just I don't know. I feel like certain clips go viral and people, like, one person reacts to it and they get a positive reaction, and then other people like, oh, I can get a positive reaction if I react to this, and it's like a chain event. I
a lot
thought
of people were getting
their
their points for this for sure. They were like, okay, this quote tweet's gonna crush. Like,
like I thought it was a nothing burger clip, but again, like I understand why if a woman saw that and was like, if I did that, it would be a problem, because they're right. Like if a woman reporter did that, it like the reaction would have been different. Not like, hey, you're the man for getting the number. It would have been like, oh, this is super unprofessional. So like that part, I agree. Like
I'm still not 100% sold that's the case. I think if you keep it fun and light, like that can still be a funny clip and not just a guaranteed of like, oh my God, what's she doing? I think there's a big assumption there that would have gone terribly if it was a woman reporter. But if you hated it, it's fine. I just didn't think it was that big a deal.
Yeah, that's what Sodom on. Not a big deal. Tyler Milliken, final thoughts.
Two quick things. Brandon Clark was our final thought last week, at least for me. Landed on Baseball America's list today of potential top 100 prospects. So we're in a different era where Red Sox pitching prospects are getting attention. And that leads me right to Connolly Early, who has gone off to a really strong start at AA. Has made 2 starts now, 7 2/3 innings. He struck out 15 and only walked 2. The fastball's up to 96.8 right now. Crazy enough, a lot of people don't know, went to college with Kyle Teal at Virginia, coming out in the same draft. But Connolly Early's climbing the ranks, and if you're throwing that kind of stuff from the left side, it's not going to be long before he's pushing towards AAA, and he'll be another option. And from the left side that you don't have is a potential, call up in need of emergency, or even, we'll see how things play out with Chris Murphy or Zach Penrod and whether they can get up to speed. Yeah, who's been throwing really well to start the year, but he'll be just another arm. Yeah, he's up to about 96, 97.
Yeah, I heard that. I listened to the Sox prospect. Now that I have a puppy, there's no such thing as sleeping in any day, like weekends included. And I think it was like Saturday morning, like train was hacking up a lung, and I was like, "You stay in bed. I'll be on dog duty." And I just laid on my kitchen table and listened to the Sox prospects podcast for Saturday morning, and they were mentioning how like Shane Drohan was throwing. I was like, "Hey, this is all new information that I wouldn't have had otherwise." So that's good.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were ever going to see this version of him after he went to the White Sox after the shoulder injury, but Connolly Early, just another name you should be paying attention to, and he has some upside that outside of Juan Valera, I think can go with just about any arm in the system right now.
Cool.
Not Peyton Tolley, who got his shit pushed in.
Heavily.
Jake's takes?
Yeah, party in Section 10 Friday night. If you don't have tickets, hop on Game Time, get some tickets at the 10. Free meet and greet all night, which is an unbelievable discount from the normal price.
Crazy, Jake. That's crazy.
Grab those tickets.
Yeah, that's what happens when you fucking. By the way, what's the deal with the pyramids?
Oh yeah, I grabbed one.
That's it. That's the deal.
Copped a quick mid.
Yeah, snag one of those. Yep.
Yep, got one. Yep.
Got one. Yeah, that's what else do you got?
Yeah, everyone was like, "Where's Jake? Where's Jake?" And it's like, "Oh, he just did a meet and greet and made like $9 million off of it, and he went to Egypt and bought a pyramid." And I get it. Like, what do you plan on doing with it? Are you just gonna? Is it like stock? Like, I don't get. Like, what are you gonna do with it now that you own
dead stock pyramids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pyramids only appreciate in value, so I just had to fly out there, see it. Looked pretty good. I'm comfortable with where it's at, and I'll get updates from overseas.
Yeah. All right. That's smart, dude. That's smart.
Very
glad.
smart.
Yeah.
It's almost as smart as getting tickets to the game on Friday. It's crochet day. Like, get those tickets on Game Time and join us in watching Garrett crochet on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good show. Good show today, fellas.
Thank you.
I feel like everyone contributed a lot. Especially Tyler.
Don't do that. This is
why?
This is what people were talking about when they say they can't tell if you're serious.
What do you mean?
Oh, they'll be mad at me. You're fine this week.
They're like, when you praise me, they can't tell if you're just saying it to say it or if you're trolling.
Why would I troll you? I've never done that.
I trust you.
Do you think I'm being genuine or no?
No, I do think you genuinely love me.
I do.
Crazy way to answer that.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think I'm being genuine? No.
No, yes.
I think it's genuine.
My printer just jammed.
Why are you printing shit right? It's
on
fucking
what?
1 o'clock in the morning, dude.
I was trying to get this project done, and it's just not looking good for me right now.
Okay.
During the show? All right.
Yeah. You never
Goodness, I
multitasked
do.
before?
The grind never ends with.
No,
with
I know. It's just funny that the printer's in the shot. I still think that's funny.
New pick just dropped. Shout out my boy Ace. That's all I wanted to say. Got some new picks from Jared.
Okay.
That's the project.
I sent you that?
No, I took this off your Twitter.
Oh.
No, you sent me pictures of Ace playing with the toys I bought him.
I did do that. Yeah, that's why I was
like
curious.
those.
Yeah. Yeah, every time that Ace plays with the toy that T got him, I update him.
He fucks with it.
Yeah. I'm glad you're getting good use out of that printer, T.
If anyone needs any printer tips or is looking to buy a printer, just hit me up. I'll send you the link, man. Some good shit right here.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll be back on Monday night, Tuesday morning for you guys after the 4-game series with the Chicago White Sox. Appreciate you watching. By the way, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be pushing that heavy this year. Watch us on YouTube. It's a better viewing, listening experience if you watch the show on YouTube. It helps us out a lot. And There's more content coming your way. Mike Eamond, the demon chef, is going to be in the kitchen
for 3,
cooking up some stupid dummy videos on our YouTube channel. So subscribe there. That's my final thought. And we'll see you guys after the Red Sox take 3 of 4 from the White Sox when we're at Fenway and they're just like, no.
Buenas noches, amigos.